Round one. Fight!
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Tearjerker Fights, episode number 30. This is going to be best alternative summer sports movies in honor of the Olympics going on over in Tokyo, 2020 Olympics or 2021, whatever you want to call it. I think officially they call them 2020, but this episode is going to cover all indoor or outdoor summer sports except for the big major sports, because those are going to get their own episode. So we're gonna have no baseball, we already did an episode, and then no basketball, football, hockey, combat sports like MMA, wrestling, and boxing, and no automobile racing as well. But besides that, everything else is fair game. So you're going to kind of see some kind of off the beaten path sports, the ones you don't normally see a lot on TV, but it'll be some fun ones. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce my panel for tonight. First up, I got my co-host, Austin Pez Howell. How's it going?
What's up, man? It's going to be a maybe a strange show, to say the least. We've got some weird movies on this list, a weird mix of movies, but you'll sort of see a pattern as we go. Yeah, like you said, we've got, a little golf, a little tennis, a little volleyball, maybe a little extreme sports like rollerblading and skateboarding, things like that. You'll see what we got in store. But, yeah, it's a very mixed, one of those things that we just kind of had to throw all these other ones in a blender because we can't have an all-golf thing. There's only like 8 golf movies, so right. It is what it is. But it should be an interesting show nonetheless.
Yeah, I feel like we're going to have quite a few movies in the haven't seen category.
Maybe.
Me personally, I've seen less than half of these. I'll just say that up top. So.
I've seen maybe a little more than half, but yeah, we might have a few on here that let's just say I had a hard time working up the motivation to watch, but maybe we'll skip those altogether. We'll see.
Yeah, right. But we got some solid guests tonight that have all been on the show before, so we'll go ahead and introduce them. First up, we got Jordan Owens. How's it going?
What's up, everybody? Yeah, looking forward to chatting some movies here. Let's see what we all think. Yeah, nice little hodgepodge here.
Mm-hmm. Right, yeah. Yeah, we like to kind of throw in some things out of left field from time to time that aren't always like the most popular movies, but we still want to give those movies some love for sure. So, but next up we have Ross Bristow.
Hello, everyone. I'm basically this is like my third time being on this, and I love this. And then I cannot wait because any time that Chariots of Fire and then Airborne appear on the same list is a good day.
Right?
Yep. Very good.
This might be the only time that will ever happen, them on the same list for whatever reason. But yes.
Right. And last but not least, we have Jonathan Peck joining us. How's it going?
Very good. Very good. Try to stay awake because I almost like 2 hours ago, and I'm drinking as far as to keep myself awake and keep myself energized for I'm assuming maybe 2 hours, I guess. So
Just
keep it around. And what's that?
I was gonna say the good thing about Tearjerker Fights is we can kind of cut it off whenever we need to, so we can guarantee you that it won't go 3 hours, but it'll go somewhere between 2.5, possibly. We'll see how it goes. But But yeah,
We try to start going for Hail Marys and wrapping it up before we get to the 2 hour mark, so then we can just rank stuff. So we'll try to keep. I mean, and maybe with just 5 people on this panel and the movies that we have, we may be through all the ones we can talk about by the time we get to that mark. So we'll see, because I think there's a few on here that are going to go into the not seen category.
yeah,
I gotcha.
yep, definitely. And just let you know we're coming a little later than usual because I had some major technical delays today. Pretty much every piece of technology that I own stopped working and then started working again. So now pretty much everything's working. So I didn't have time to make an official thumbnail with all the rules. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up one of our past thumbnails from our best comedy episode, and I'm just going to read off of that. So just bear with me for today. But the rule is just to keep a little order to the chaos are as follows. So let's see, and also too, let me remove the little logo here too, so I can see that. There we go. Let's have a good, clean fight. Please do not talk or shout over each other. Please do be respectful of others' opinions. Each person will take turns to select a movie for ranking. The person who selects the movie will have 1 minute or less. I mean, you can yield your time as well to explain which tier they think it should go in and why. All of the participants will then each have 1 minute to say why they agree or disagree and may suggest a new ranking. And the host, which is me, will decide on a ranking that averages out everyone's opinions and asks if the proposed ranking is acceptable to the group. And at that point, we can have a little debate as to where we want to put it. Usually, Austin kind of keeps a little track of it. To kind of have an average, and then we can kind of like have a small little debate, and then we'll just go from there. So let's see. Take that off of there. So I'll go ahead and I'll bring up the tier ranker chart for tonight. Let's see. Should be popping up any second here. So this is basically how it's going to work for anyone who hasn't seen the show before. We rank it on a tier ranker scale. So this is our tier ranker scale. So it's S for superior, and we only allow 10 movies in the S tier. So we got to be a little picky about the S tier. But then it just goes like grades in school: A, B, C, D, F, and then there's also haven't seen, and then not an alternative sports movie, meaning that like maybe you think that a certain movie maybe belongs in one of the main sports, like for example basketball. Some people may consider that an actual like a baseball movie or even a basketball movie. Me personally, I would consider it more of an alternative sport for sure because it's kind of a combo. But we can certainly have that debate when we get to it. So but yeah, and then also as the host, I always like to go last. We always start at the bottom of the ladder. So Jonathan Peck will be up first, and then we'll just kind of move up the ladder. So I'll just come down and show you what we have here. And for our panelists, we also have everything listed in the private chat. So I know sometimes these little icons can be a little tough to see. They're kind of small, but this is everything. So Jonathan Peck, you're up first. So do you want to pick one and give it a ranking?
Okay then. What to choose? You know what? I'm gonna put one of my favorites on there. So I'm gonna pick one of my favorite funny comedies on there, Dodgeball first.
All right, Dodgeball.
All right.
So where do you want to rank it, and why would you rank it there?
I'm gonna pay in. Just gonna put on A tier.
All right.
And the reason I say that because I have seen this movie a couple of times. I laugh every time I watched it, and I love the funny cookie characters in Dodgeball, Bailey, Steve the Pirate, and the coach right here to just keep bringing it. Yeah, see the pirate.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
basically, Rick Tour as the coach, and they keep berating his players, just throwing wrenches at them and still flailing with it. And I'm
Yep.
not going to spoil, let's just say what happens to him. And throughout the movie, though, I'm not going to spoil for those people who hadn't seen the movie, kind of a weird, bizarre way to, let's just say, take a side with. But the rest of the movie as a whole, and I
There
love
you go.
Ben Stiller as a villain, though.
Right.
Rarely we see him as a villain, though. So that's the reason I really enjoyed this movie. So I'm just going to put it on A tier, though. I don't know what people maybe put on S tier, but I'm just going to keep it more well balanced on the A tier.
All right, sounds good. Ross, what do you think of Dodgeball, and where would you rank it?
I would rank it in A tier because like it is a really, really funny movie. But the only thing that like keeps it from an S for me is that originally Ben Stiller's character was actually going to be the same character from Heavyweights. So if they would have actually like put his character in there, that would have like bumped it up to an S, but like very, very high
That would've
A.
been awesome. Yeah.
I've seen this movie like 4 to 5 times, and it is funny, still.
Yeah.
Basically in the same character.
Yep. Basically. Jordan Owens, what do you think?
It's a good one. I've never been as big of a fan as I guess some people here. I like it. It's not one that I go jumping straight to, but it's always a fun kind of background watch and always a fun time. So I'm glad we're talking about it. I would say a B personally.
All right. Austin, what do you think for Dodgeball?
If Dodgeball was in any other list, I would probably give it an A. But here's the thing. Looking at the list that we have, I'm going to
True.
bump it up to an S for this list. So I'm going to go S, actually, because of the caliber of stuff we've got on this list. I would say it's one of the more superior ones on the list because not only does it work as a great 2000s comedy, but I think it works as a great underdog sports movie. And I think the stuff at the end, giving us, memorable stuff like ESPN 8 The Ocho and Jason Bateman and, like really
real
great
thing
stuff. Yeah,
It's
like
crazy.
it's awesome. So I think people still talk about this movie, like 15, 16 years later. And given, again, comparing it to the rest of the things on this list, I'm going to go S, actually. I think it's one of the few on here.
All right, yeah. Well, for me too, I feel like with this list, I got to be a little more generous for certain movies. So I feel like, but I'm right with you, Austin. I feel like on any other list, they'll probably give it an A tier, but for this list, I got to give it an S tier, and just for so many reasons. There's just so many quotable lines, just so many amazing characters. Just like it's the only movie I know, like in my memory that's about the sport of dodgeball. I mean, there might be another like random one out there that I don't know of, but it's the only one I know.
You don't get much dodgeball in movies. Maybe the only thing I can think off the top of my head is like the one scene in Billy Madison where he's just destroying everybody with a dodgeball.
Oh, yeah,
but other than
right.
that, I can't think of a lot of stuff.
I'm pretty sure the classic War with Grandpa with Robert De Niro has a dodgeball scene.
Oh God!
Okay.
Oh, that classic! Yeah, everybody saw that movie, right?
Yeah, right.
No, and plus two, like this
Yeah.
movie has the most random cameo of all time.
Chuck Norris.
Hasselhoff?
Yes, the Chuck Norris, and we're like, hey, look, it's Chuck Norris.
What?
Thumbs up.
And Chuck Norris, yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna say S tier though. So.
Well,
that,
I mean,
feel
we got 2 S's, 2 A's, and a B, so I think it stays in A right now. But I think it's got a good chance of getting bumped up into the top 10 if we can't get a full 10. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see, because a lot of these movies, they're not great movies. I mean, there's a couple great ones on there, but for the most part, not so much. So
I think there's a lot of really good movies we're going to have to be generous with and put in the S tier. Otherwise, I think we're going to struggle to come up with a 10, to be honest. I'm just being honest with this list.
Yeah,
so that's the reason I put an A tier, though. As I look through the list, I'm like, oh, there might be movies just slightly better.
And I'm like, yeah. This is one of the better movies on the list.
Well, next up, we'll throw it over to Ross. You want to pick one?
I'm actually going to go with one that I think actually deserves to be on the S tier, and that's 127 Hours.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Yes, this movie will S, yeah. will mess you up, but it's very
Yeah.
good, and it actually like makes you feel like you're with the guy. And then like I just like really do enjoy this movie, and then like it's actually like shot well, and then like edited very well. Come on, it's Danny Boyle. So yes, and
Yeah,
then
right.
like James Franco, as much of a creeper as he is, deserved his Oscar nom for this movie.
Yeah, for sure. Jordan, what do you think?
I'll give it a second S. It is a really well-made film too. On top of it, being obviously secluded in one spot for the most of it. Danny Boyle does, and the writing of it is really strong as well. Strong performance by Franco. Yeah, it is a really well-made film. So yeah, I'll go with S as well.
Yeah. Austin, what do you think?
I going into this, I almost wanted to argue that this is not a sports movie. But again,
Yeah.
given
Yeah.
how much we're gonna stretch on this list, I'll go
Yeah,
ahead
right.
and say S. I'll go ahead and keep with the S just to
Really
get something
stretching
up in there. Yeah, I'm
Me
okay
too.
with
I
that.
almost said, is this really a sports movie?
I mean, technically, it's like a rock climbing kind of movie. I mean, I guess it's sort of a sport. Okay, fine. I debated with it, but again, given the rest of the stuff on this list, sure, I'll go S for it. Why not? Let's get it up there.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So Danny Boyle is one of those directors that's just really hit and miss for me. Like, I think that 127 Hours it was a great movie. He also did 28 Days Later, which is like okay for me. And then he did The Beach, which was like a terrible movie for me. So
Is that his? Huh.
yeah, huh?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and he
we
also
talked about it
directed-
on our DiCaprio episode. Yeah, it's not a great movie. It's not great.
Yeah, and he also directed another movie on this list that we might end up talking about a little later. But I think for 127 Hours, like I think that he really got a great performance out of James Franco, because I feel like he doesn't always give great performances, but in this one, I think he gave a great performance, and I would give it an S tier.
Yes,
So-
and then can you believe the movie came out in 2010?
Mhm.
Right? Yeah, it feels like it wasn't that long ago, but Jonathan, what do you think?
I might get a little. Well, technically, I think it's already been counted, but I would argue it's not technically a sports movie. It kind of is more
Alright.
like a self-contained film, though. Yeah, it's walk, mountain climbing, but I don't really think about what's a sort of like an outdoor sports movie, though. It's more like a self-contained movie. But that being said, it's still a very good movie, and is arguably the best performance James Franco has ever done. And it was one of my favorite Danny Boyle films, along with Steve Jobs, in my personal opinion.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very good little character study, in sort of like in a little self-containment way, even though you kind of know what happens at the end, but you get a little emotional grieving what this character goes through. So even though I want to put not the sports video tier list, but I wouldn't mind it to put other tiers.
So, you saying S tier then?
Well, I was gonna say it's not a sports film in that category,
Okay.
though.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
That's fair enough. Yeah. So basically,
But we still have 4 S votes, so it kind of stays where it is. But
Yep, and
but
then
your
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
your objection is noted. Your objection is noted. It's all right. I mean, I kind of almost had the same objection, but still, again,
Yeah,
given the
so
list, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, but actually, this is James Franco's second best performance. The first of his best performance was his TV movie he did called James Dean.
Okay. Yeah. He's a good fit for something like that. But like I would almost say it too, because like it's supposed to be like a rock climbing movie, but like, I don't really know him. Like really see much rock climbing, but maybe that's the point. Like he doesn't get to the rock climbing because he gets like trapped under a rock. I don't know. But
the first like 30 minutes, I just watched it, on the June 2nd, and then like the first like 30 minutes is actually just all rock climbing almost.
okay. Yeah.
I think that's enough to bump it into it. If there's at least a significant amount, I would say yes.
Yeah, it's good to know.
But we'll throw it over to Jordan Owens.
Mr.
next.
Owens,
You're up, so-
yeah, what do you got?
I'm gonna go back to a comedy here. Talk about one of the early Adam Sandler ones. Go Happy Gilmore. It's the first movie mentioned in the chat, but it was one that I was always gonna bring up first if I could. I'll even shoot my shot, man, and say S due to what Austin was saying before, as far as the quality of what's in here. I love it, man. This Billy Madison high repeat watches in my house, wearing out that VHS. I just love everything.
Yeah.
Is, get in the hole. Why don't you want to go home? Bob Barker. I mean, just it's such a fun movie, and it's all in the hips. You know what I mean? I got the
All in
Funko
the hips.
Pops, and yeah, I really love it every time it's on. I got to stop and watch, and yeah. So yeah, why not? Happy Gilmore.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Austin, what do you think for Happy Gilmore?
Yeah, Jordan, I think Happy Gilmore was in our '90s S tier comedy list. I believe it
cool.
made it in there. So
Yeah.
I believe it made it. Yeah, it was the Adam
It did
Sandler movie that got
indeed.
in there, and I would definitely say it's one of the 2 best golf movies on the list. I might bring up the other one in just a minute, and we'll see. But yeah, I would definitely agree. There hasn't been that many golf movies, but most of them have been pretty good for the most part, and I still think Happy Gilmore is one of the better ones, and if not the best one overall. So yeah, I'm okay with S tier for Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. And I think that I'm right there with you guys. Like, I'm a huge Adam Sandler or Adam Sandler fan, and Happy Gilmore is probably my second favorite Adam Sandler movie. So I think that it's awesome, and like just in a normal list, I would probably put it in the S tier most days. So for this list, it's definitely getting an S for me. So.
His favorite is Jack and Jill, by the way, just to let the panel
Oh yeah,
know.
right. Jack and Jill,
Yeah.
S all the way.
Yeah, by a mile. By a mile.
Yeah. but yeah,
Jonathan.
But Jonathan, what do you think?
I met a guy said like there are certain movies I actually put a little above dodgeball. This is one of them. And I
Okay.
judge in this little Funko Pop of Mr. Happy Gilmore right here. I also love this movie too. It's personally one of my favorite outside comedies, and this is arguably, in my opinion, the best cameo from any movie ever, with Bob Barker kicking the shit out of him for almost 20 minutes.
Price is wrong, bitch.
Yeah, that's why I didn't include it in our intro because that fight is just epic.
It's so funny.
For cheermaker fights.
And also, fun fact: Bob Barker, his personal trainer for boxing,
No.
Chuck Norris.
Oh, nice.
All ties in.
Yep,
Yeah.
it does.
And speaking of funny Ben Stiller, just saying.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
also.
That's right.
Best part of Hubie Halloween, I was like, it's the character of Happy Gilmore.
Right, yeah. That was the same way. I was like, what? They're bringing back like the old warden character, whatever he was.
And
yeah.
also,
You get a cold glass of milk, you get a cold glass of shut the hell up.
Yeah, right. Looking, pardon me for this. Shut the hell up. Check out the name tag, Grandma. You're in my world now. You'll go to sleep. I will put you to sleep.
And also, best comedy villain, Shooter McGavin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So much so that Christopher McDonald actually still does cameos as
Yes.
Shooter McGavin on
I was
Cameo.
about to say, and
You
not
don't get
like
a
you said, it's
cameo
not
from
listed as
Shooter
Christopher,
McGavin.
it's listed as
No,
Shooter.
it's Shooter McGavin. Yes.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody sent me one of those for my birthday, April 30th.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
Pieces of shit
Ross.
like you for breakfast.
Okay, yep.
But Ross,
yep.
yeah.
This movie is totally an S. And I'm like, I really do love this movie. And then like, he said my favorite line: "I eat pieces of
Yes.
shit like you for breakfast."
Here you go.
You eat piece of shit for breakfast?
No.
Mister, get
Mister, get me out of here. Mister.
Yeah, so this movie is amazing. I do really love it. And then like, of course, this is an as tier though, but like, I would love to live in the alternate dimension is when like Bruce Campbell auditioned for Shooter McGavin. I wish I could have seen that too.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's right. I did hear about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But with that though, I believe that it's unanimous.
Jordan, it's a clean sweep, and because Jonathan was not as enthusiastic about 127, I think right now Happy Gilmore goes to the top of the S tier for the moment.
Sure, yeah.
So,
We'll take it right to the top out of those three. But
all right.
But Austin, you're up next. So
All right. Well, I already teased it. I'll talk about the other greatest golf movie there ever was, and that's Caddyshack. So, and I will nominate Caddyshack for S tier. It's kind of right there.
Got it. All right. I put in S tier. All right.
Yeah, Caddyshack is. If you haven't gone back to watch it, it still holds up. It is really, really funny. It's just the life of these golfers and these caddies. Bill Murray's fantastic. Hunting the Gopher. Rodney Dangerfield comes in like a house of fire. Is amazing. Chevy Chase is when Chevy Chase was still funny, back in the 80s. And he was really, really quippy and really, really low-key, really funny. Just really good stuff all around. Got some nice un-PC stuff in there. But it just really holds up. And I think next to Happy Gilmore, when I think about golf movies, I think of Caddyshack, and I think it absolutely deserves to be in the S tier.
Well, for me, I think I got to be the wet blanket of the group. Like for whatever reason, I don't really understand Caddyshack. Like I've tried to watch it 2 times in my life because I watched it once and absolutely hated it. So I'm like, I got to give it a second chance because everyone's so high on it. And I watched it a second time. I'm like, I don't get it. Like,
Fun fact, Jordan, I didn't like it the first 2 times I saw it either. I watched it a third time and I got it. I don't know. It might take 3 times. Honestly, it sometimes it takes a couple. And then the last time I watched it like a year ago, it just played like gangbusters. So I think you got to give it time.
Right, because really the only thing that I found funny in it was like Chevy Chase's character, but I didn't even find like Rodney Dangerfield funny. I didn't really find like Bill Murray, any of that. Like it was like almost cringy, and like I feel like it didn't hold up for me. I was just kind of like this humor is like really outdated. Like I don't know, like it just didn't work for me. So I mean, well, I'll be generous and I'll give it a C, but I'm almost tempted to put it in the D. But
oh, geez, dude, it's not a D. Oh man.
But compared to what else we have on the list, though, like I gotta put it above at least half the list. So I'm gonna give it a solid C for me for Caddyshack. C for Caddyshack. So.
Oh no.
but Jonathan, what do you think?
Okay, before I make my opinion, can I ask you a question, Jordan?
Sure.
Do you take drugs every day, Jordan?
No, I do not.
You're supposed to say do you take drugs, Danny? Every day, good man.
Oh, is that a line from the movie or something?
Yeah.
Okay,
do drugs, Danny? Every day, good man.
Like, not me.
All right.
No drugs.
I like Caddyshack. I would have put slightly on B tier though. I'll be honest with that because I still think it's funny though. My still favorite parts is mainly Tat Knight as the Judge Smales right here. I love every time he shows up and he keeps battling with this nearly in the beginning of the movie. He basically keeps battling this sort of this Grand Keeper's about reacting a gopher. He just finally shows up random things like poof, and his facial expression like no gopher. And also, one underrated joke about the movie I actually do love is the stuff with the bishop, especially when he was playing golf, the golf of his life, playing with it when it's during his reign, and just see he misses it. He said, "Oh, rat farts!" And he got struck by lightning and is soon to be dead. We're trying to land the movie. He's not. So basically, I like that parts of the movie. I'll be generous. I just give it a B because I still like the movie. I actually do like some of the jokes. There was some of it just not so much, but I'll give it a solid B.
All right, and we'll say that for me, I bumped it up to C also because of Kenny Loggins, because like I do enjoy the music of Kenny Loggins, so that's always a plus. But anyways, Ross, what do you think of Caddyshack?
Oh, this is an S tier. I love this movie. I grew up watching this movie, and I didn't even really get like half the jokes. I remember there was these 2 jokes that I kind of got, but not really. It's the part with the Snickers, and then the other one. Sorry, the Baby Ruth, and then the other one is so like I was kicked out of college for night putting. Do you know what night putting is? Putting at night. Still, like this movie's amazing.
I've done that before.
It's actually like literally maybe in my top 15 funniest comedies of all time. And my friend actually had the gall to tell me that like Who's Your Caddy did this premise better.
Oh jeez, no.
Who's Your Caddy might be on another.
It's gonna be in our worst IMDb worst of tournament fights.
Oh, that'd be a fun one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I want to do that one.
Yeah, we're gonna do that
coming up next week. So yeah, well. I'll hit you guys up if you want it.
We're gonna pluck 64 of like the worst movies of all time, and we're gonna put them in a tournament fight, like the best of the worst, like the total shit show. And we're gonna determine like what's either the best worst movie or the worst movie.
Some of them I've seen, and then I disagree with. Like Bucky Larson, Born to Be a Star. That movie's actually really funny. I've actually seen it.
Okay.
That movie's gonna be on the list.
Yep.
Yes, please let me talk about that later.
Yeah.
But anyways, Jordan
wants to talk about. Yeah.
Get back to Caddyshack. What do you think?
Yeah.
All right, Caddyshack, the movie at hand. I'm kind of actually with Jordan and Jonathan. I will admit this is another one that maybe I need to rewatch from beginning to end. I haven't seen it in quite a while, but I'm going to give it a B. I liked it. I didn't love it. Maybe it was that hype. Definitely think sometimes that hurts things sometimes when you're told by everyone it's the greatest thing on earth, and then you kind of watch it and you go, it's fine. So I do need to rewatch it again, but for me right now where I stand, it's a B.
Well,
you guys are patently incorrect, and you're going to regret it. When this movie is better than 75% of this list. You guys are patently incorrect.
I thought I was going to get attacked, but luckily Jordan gave it
factual.
a C. So.
Yeah,
I like the movie. I like the movie.
We're as low as me.
Better, all right.
So does that give it about a B? Like overall?
It goes about a B, yeah. And this movie, I'm sorry, I love Airborne, but Caddyshack is a better movie than Airborne, even though Airborne would probably end up higher than like.
Right. Well, for this particular list, probably, but yeah. But on any other list, probably not. So, but I guess I'm up, huh?
Jordan, you're up. So, what do you want to talk about?
So I want to talk about a movie that I just barely watched before we went live, because I've been watching much of these movies to try to watch what I could before we did this episode, and I just watched the movie Battle of the Sexes. So with Steve Carell and Emma Stone, and this movie actually blew me away. Like I was very, very surprised. Like I want to give it an S tier. Like I thought that it was great. I thought it was so basically like it's just about this big match between Bobby Riggs and I always forget the female one that
Billie Jean
plays, but
Billie Jean King.
As a male, you would forget.
There you go. Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what a misogynist.
And the woman.
Right, but like what this did for women's sports, like the match in general, kind of a bit of a moment in history. Like it was like a really crazy hyped up match. Just kind of this one-off match between the male versus female, and like trying to like prove the chauvinistic male pig wrong, and like the performance from Emma Stone is what did it for me. Like she was amazing, and she was married to Larry King, so like the same Larry King from like Larry King Live and all that, but then she was also kind of a closet lesbian, and she ends up cheating on Larry King with this other girl because she's at a time period where that kind of stuff's kind of not very publicized, kind of frowned upon, not looked upon as very a favorable thing at that time, and so there's a big part of the movie about that. But then the thing that actually sealed it for me as an S tier was at the very end when she finally beats him. Spoiler alert, but it's part of history. So if you read history, you can know that she beats him. But and then she just breaks down, like you just see like all the emotional weight that she was carrying, not just for herself, but for the sport, and then also for all of women, basically. And so like after the match, all these reporters want to interview her, but then she just needs a moment where she just goes into the locker room all by herself. She just breaks down and she starts crying, and it's like a really like powerful moment. And also too, you see Bobby Riggs' wife come back to him at the end because she leaves him at one point because he's addicted to gambling too. That's another thing. But anyways, yeah, I'll stop my little rant of the movie there. But I say S tier. So, Jonathan, what do you think?
I actually like this movie, and I actually love the performances of Emma Stone and Steve Carell. Even though Carell at points are maybe a little bit caricature points, but not
Yeah.
caricature, just a little bit over the top of points. But even though I actually like it sort of over the top, no chauvinist approach. And with that being said, I will give it a slight A tier. Like, I really love this movie, and it is a well put film, but I'll give it a little bit slight to A tier.
All right, Ross, what do you think?
Never seen it. Not yet. It's on my list
You
though. But
never seen it?
but like about the
You
whole.
definitely want to check it out.
Like, yeah. How she's doing the whole thing for like all the girls. That actually like made me think of the King Richard trailer that just came out.
Oh yeah, right. We got a similar one with it.
Yeah, but never seen it. I would leave it on my list.
About the Williams sisters, yeah. But Jordan, what do you think for Battle of the Sexes?
I like this one, man. It's a quieter film. I think that's maybe why it never really reached that kind of next level of success and like box office or anything, because it's really not the splashiest film out there. But it was a well-told tale. Carell's very fun. Stone is a much more subdued, but a really good performance here. So I mean, I don't know about S. Maybe you could end up squeaking in there, but I'll give it an A as well.
All right, and also you get some solid performances from like Bill Pullman, and then Sarah Silverman shows up too. Like she's
Yeah, Silverman's good. Forgot about Pullman.
But Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I'll go like a solid A for Battle of the Sexes. It's probably the best tennis movie that's ever been put together. But even in my mind, the best tennis movie is still not really above an A, just because I'm not a big fan of tennis in general. But the best tennis movie is still, an A, and I think Battle of the Sexes is that. So I'd go with like a solid A for that. I don't like it more than Dodgeball or the other ones in the S tier, so I go A. But
Sounds like it's going to land right below Dodgeball then, probably.
Yeah, right below Dodgeball, but it's still got a chance of getting bumped up or being an honorable mention. So yeah, I think it's definitely the best of the tennis movies for sure that we on here.
I do like how they filmed the movie too. They film it kind of in like a 70s style, so it actually looks like you're actually like seeing what they would have saw on TV during the 70s. That kind of like quality. So it's kind of cool because they did that on purpose. So yeah, but anyways, yeah, we'll throw it back around to Jonathan. You're up again, so you want to pick one?
I'm actually gonna pick a movie that I would argue is not a sport. Doesn't mean the movie's bad. It's okay. I'm actually gonna pick the Sylvester Stallone classic, Over the Top. It's not a sport.
Let's see if
I'll say this one thing clear: arm wrestling is not a sport. It's a sparring game, but not a sport. I put it in the alternative, not an alternative sports movie already. Even though I saw once, I thought it was okay, but still, arm wrestling, it's not a sport.
Yeah. It was one of those borderline ones, so we'll see what you guys have to say. Ross, what do you think?
I think that this movie is a sports movie, but like, is there any way to put it in the S and the F category at the same time?
Yeah, can it be like the best worst movie?
Yeah, right.
Yes, actually, this movie is a glorious masterpiece of badness, but it's still a lot of fun. Arm wrestling is a sport because, like, if hot dog eating can get shown on ESPN,
right,
anything qualified as a sport. So yes.
Well, it's like I was almost tempted.
It did basically arm wrestling contest and wrestling though. Doesn't mean it's after called a sport either. So,
but it is a physical competition though, and you are competing directly with somebody else. I mean, it is a physical prowess. Like it is, and there are competitive arm wrestling leagues now. So I mean, it is a sport league. Yeah.
Yeah, but put this like in a C.
Where would you put it?
C.
Okay.
In a C. Only because it's so darn entertaining.
You can average it out, but yeah, I was almost tempted to put some of those spelling bee movies on the list too, because they actually do show the spelling bee on ESPN. So it's gonna have like bad words or like Aquila and the Bee or some of those.
Aquila and the Bee, yeah, right.
Yeah.
When is Slowdown gonna get a movie? Hopefully sooner.
But I feel like that.
Right.
That was kind of pushing it though to include spelling bees. So, but Jordan, what do you think for Over the Top?
I'm waiting for the hot dog eating contest movie. I think there's a lot of potential there.
The Joey Chestnut story.
There we go, man. Matt Damon this summer.
Uh-huh.
I haven't seen this one, man. I think I own it somewhere, so maybe I'll jump to it, but I have not seen it.
All right. Well, Austin.
Yeah, this is the movie that Canon Films invested so much money in, this and Superman 4, that eventually led to the demise of Canon Films, because they invested they paid Stallone $20 million for this movie and thought it was going to be like their biggest hit ever. And granted it was in the middle of his stardom, so I understand the reason. But between this and spending as much as they did on Superman to get the rights, it killed it. It's like the best bad movie you'll see, because it's arm wrestling mixed with a child custody case, which is one of the stupidest things ever, and it's really, really dumb. But like when he turns his hat backwards and he's doing his arm wrestling, man, it's like, I mean, you kind of get into it, but it's really terrible. I'll agree, it's like the best C movie you'll ever see, like as far as just being so silly and over the top that it's ridiculous and fun.
Yes, and the main villain somehow looks like a combination of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Goldberg all in one.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Who's next? Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
What?
Well, so I've never seen Over the Top. It's actually one of the movies that I would have gotten to if I would have had a little more time. I had a couple other movies on like kind of high on my study list for this episode, but I just didn't quite make it to Over the Top. I feel like with the two C's, and then we only had one vote for not a sports movie, so I think I got to throw it in the C's here.
And then like that's the perfect title for this movie too. It's like Over the Top.
Yeah. Right. Over the Top. But next up, we'll throw it back over to Ross. So
okay, I'm gonna go with probably the most depressing movie on this list, and that one is Foxcatcher.
Oh yeah. Let's see, where's that one?
It is an S tier,
right over there.
Right by Grind.
In the F's.
It's right next to Chasing Mavericks.
Before the G's, after the C's.
Yeah.
All right,
this
so
is an S movie, you know, but now like I've seen it maybe one time and I might watch it again, but it is depressing. But Steve Carell, and it shows that Channing Tatum can actually act like, you know, like Mark Ruffalo's always good. But this film actually like showed that Steve Carell is a great dramatic actor, but it is dark and depressing as hell. I don't know if I'll watch it again. I do have it, but I don't know.
It's pretty dark, yeah. but Jordan, what do you think?
I'll keep it in the S's for now myself, man. As you said, it's a movie I'm not rushing to see a second time, but it's a really interesting take here, man, to see in that world. Shout out also, I mean, as you can see, Steve Carell's now in an A and an S, and I mean, it just shows you the kind of range he has from this really kind of lovable fool and Battle of the Sexes to this guy in Foxcatcher. Ruffalo's really good, and Tatum's really good in it as well, actually, too, if you want to see Tatum, you know, going through some stuff as well. And it's an interesting, very sad, true story as well, about a weird, interesting, but messed up guy. And Carell's really good in it. So, yeah, I'll say yes as well.
All right. What do you think, Austin?
Yeah, it's one of the few movies, along with 127 Hours, that has like Oscar nominations on this list. So I feel like we kind of have to put it in the S tier, because it's like one of the few super well-made movies on this list. And I mean, you don't get to see that many movies about sort of Greco-Roman Olympic-style wrestling, but they had to take this depressing story to kind of get it on the big screen. But I'd like to see more classic wrestling movies. I like to see like a Kurt Angle movie, like that'd be pretty great, like something like that. Now that he's retired.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I know. It would make for a great story. So I'm down for that. But yeah, I'll give it S for Steve Carell's nose. Yeah, for sure.
Right.
S for schnoz.
Big schnoz. Yeah, right.
There you go. Well, Foxcatcher was a movie that when I saw it, like at the end, I was just like, "What the frick did I just watch?" Like that movie was like really great performances, but it's like really weird and like super dark. And I'm just like okay, like I don't know if I liked it, but I can appreciate the performances though. Like I feel like the three main leads, especially Steve Carell and Channing Tatum, but also Mark Ruffalo too. Like they all gave it some great performances, and so yeah, like I think I'd put it in last year, like probably I'm kind of near the bottom of the S tier, but I think that it deserves a spot in the S tier. So yeah, throw it there. But Jonathan, what do you think?
I would go like maybe like an A tier with it because I always seen this movie once, and personally, I don't mind seeing it again for a while. It's a very cold movie along with it, and I really love the performances, mainly from Steve Carell as this whole like fucked up person, and
Yeah, right.
and also not only the might want, I still think it's a good film, and I would put it A tier. It's one of these rare movies that I might want to see once. I might not see again in a long, long while though.
Mhm.
Yeah,
And also,
right.
plus
Yeah.
there's a like a 30 for 30 documentary based on that. So it also was a good
Okay.
double feature if you want very intrigued on that. So I will
I'll
put it
check
like
that out. Yeah, I love 30 for 30s.
Yeah, but still, though, I wonder how the hell this did not get nominated for Best Picture. Do you know why?
I think there are other like I know 2014 had great films around that point, so I
Yeah,
think thought it was
Yeah,
We're a
but
stacked year.
yeah,
Yeah.
but still, though, like when you get nominated for writing, actor, and director,
Yep, but not Best Picture. Yeah, but it happens though. So, but yeah. So I think that it just squeaks into the S tier. What I feel like, right?
Yeah, it's kind of right where it is right now, Jordan. Kind of right
Yeah.
behind 127 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So we'll throw it back over
Jordan,
to Jordan. So what do you
what do you want to talk
what do you want
about?
to talk about next?
Alrighty, I'm hoping this is one that people have seen. Little smaller movie that's over on Amazon now. Brittany Runs a Marathon is the one I'm going to talk about here.
To
I want to see Jillian Bell, who's in 22 Jump Street and also Workaholics, is fantastic in this. Oh, it's an S for me, by the way.
That's true. All right.
Yeah. She's fantastic in this. It's a great story of someone who's at that turning point, that kind of 30-year-old age range of just figuring your shit out. And her herself in real life lost a lot of weight for both herself and for this roles, and you see that in the movie, which is also really cool and inspiring. And it's funny, it's heartfelt, but without going over the top in a way, without getting schmaltzy. And it's a really good film and a champion, good little bit of romantic interest again without overdoing it. That's very kind of real to me in the middle of it as well. So yeah, I think it's a really good film.
Yeah, for sure. Austin, what do you think?
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailers for this one, but I have to be honest and say I have not seen Brittany Runs a Marathon. So I remember thinking it looked like an interesting premise. She's just like kind of overweight, just like training for her own marathon for her own good, right? Just trying to get there.
She gets there at first. At first, she makes fun of it, and then she gets there. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But I have to be honest, I have not seen it, so I would have to put it in the haven't seen category.
Yeah, so this is the movie that it was the very next movie that I was gonna watch. Probably that and over the top on my study list, but I just didn't have enough time to get to it. But the trailers look great for it. And when I love Jillian Bell, like one of my favorite things was when she was in that comedy show Idiot Sitter. Like that show cracks me up. But like Jillian Bell's great, so I mean I definitely want to watch it, but I haven't seen it, so I can't really give it a ranking. But
Jonathan, have you seen it?
have you seen it?
Unfortunately, no, but I wanted to. I'm sorry.
It's all good. This is what I was afraid of.
It's all good. It happens. It happens on the show, man. It happens. We've nominated movies in the past that have to, unfortunately, can't make the list because not enough people have seen it. But it happens.
I'm sorry. Look, I know some people have actually seen this movie. They actually really love this movie, so it's on my list there right here, films I need to watch. But I'm sorry, I hadn't seen this yet. I will though. But I just hadn't seen it. So let me out.
Yeah.
All right, Ross, have you seen it?
Yes, I have, and I do really like it. I'd rate it in the high A. It's just like I watched it once and I went, okay, that was good. I might watch it again in a few years, but it's not like like I actually have to call everyone that I know and tell them to watch it. So it's a high A.
Yeah.
Well, Jordan,
not enough people, right?
unfortunately, we need at least 3 qualified votes on this show, is what we decided when we first started doing it to make it list.
Uh-huh.
So, unfortunately, it's going to go down in the haven't seen
Yeah.
category. But
Haven't
having
seen
said that,
enough.
since you had that happen, Jordan, we'll give you another pick if you want to try for something else. So,
Sure, yeah.
since you had one that isn't seen.
Sure, I'll shoot my shot again. Let me see here real quick. I was thinking of a couple. I'm gonna go with Race. Actually,
All right.
this is one that surprised me. I feel like it was early in the year. That's the first one, right under Ladybug's above Stick It. Very first picture.
Oh yeah, there you go. Okay.
Early in the year, but like really just good performances, a good story, just like a well-made film. I wouldn't say S, I'd say A. Just because, we'll see if it can get to there. But Jason Sudeikis is also another kind of not early because I've already seen good things from him, but he walks a really great line of being funny, but also having like a hard, but trying to walk the right line of them going. You can see the Nazi flag behind them, you know what I mean, and black athletes actually getting to that stage, and you know what I mean, and do they risk their lives, and you don't know how it's going to be reacted from, and just strong performances, well crafted. So hopefully somebody saw this one.
Yeah, right. Well, Austin, have you seen it?
Yeah, no, I have seen it. And I would kind of go. I wouldn't go S tier for it. I'm kind of like Jordan. I would go like a low A, because it's more of like a biopic about Stephen James playing Jesse Owens, but like it's a really interesting story.
That's why I like it. It's my last name. I knew I liked it for a reason.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and yeah, he's playing Jesse Owens, and it's a great story that obviously needs to be told of him going to the Olympics and with the Nazis at the Olympics and all the craziness that was going on during that year. Yeah, it's really solid. Like I said, Jason Sudeikis like makes a turn that you don't expect. Again, I think I always like to see comedians making that turn and kind of doing like a more dramatic performance. Yeah, it's good. I don't know if I put it like super high, but I put it like a solid like middle to low A, but I do like it.
Yeah, this is one that I've actually seen as well. I actually saw it in theaters when it came out.
Hey.
I thought that it was great. Yeah, and like I'd probably just go right with you guys. Like I'd give it just like a middle to low A. Like I think that it's great though. Like I really love Stephen James is his name.
Stephen James. Yeah, he got nominated for a lot of like Canadian awards because he's a Canadian actor, and like he didn't get like any Screen Actors Guild or Oscar nomination, anything like that. But he's gotten a lot of low key like awards for it. Like he's really good in the movie. He's not very well known.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's really good.
And you have a great performance from Jason Sudeikis, almost giving kind of like a Ted Lasso vibe, sort of, and like it right to a certain extent, and also Jeremy Irons even pops up in the movie. So it's a fun little movie. So yeah, like it's definitely one that like ranks pretty high on my list. Not quite an S, but I'll give it a solid A. Mm-hmm. Jonathan, what do you think?
I'm sadly to say I hadn't seen the movie yet.
It's okay.
So
All right.
might win this. Right.
No worries. Then we'll throw it over to Ross. Have you seen it?
This is an A movie, but it would be S if it had come out a few years before or a few years after, because it felt like it was not like coming off the trend of when 42 did really well, but it's still a good movie too,
It's a movie that kind of got
lost in the shuffle a little bit.
Mix. Yeah, lost in the shuffle a little bit.
Yeah. It didn't really get a proper release. Yeah.
We'll give it some love here. So
we got 4 A's, so it kind of stays right where it's at. Yeah, it's a nice spot for it. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we'll. But you're up, Austin. So
all right. So I've been an advocate for this movie for a while. Now I don't know what the panel's going to think, but I freaking love Balls of Fury. I think Balls of Fury is one of the most underrated 2000s comedies. Like I love Dan Fogler. I think he's super underrated as a comedic actor.
He likes Balls of Fury.
Yeah, I look. I don't think I'm gonna get any support for it, but I'm gonna shoot my shot for S tier only because I've watched it like probably a dozen times. I love this movie so much, and the fact that it has the balls to make a movie about ping pong and make it interesting and make it a lot of fun and make it like the Karate Kid for ping pong, and you have James Hong doing an amazingly funny performance. You have Jason Scott Lee doing his thing, like Maggie Q. Like it's actually got a low key pretty good cast. Christopher Walken. I love Balls of Fury. I think it's super super underrated. So I would put in my personal S tier. But again, I'm probably going to get outvoted on that. That's fine. But I might as well shoot my shot for it, especially on this list.
Yeah, for sure. So this one, I think, for me, like it's a solid A tier for me, just because I watched it this week for the very first time, and I had a lot of fun with it. Like I love Christopher Walken in that role as like the kind of like master of like all this Asian culture ping pong, but he's not Asian at all, and that's kind of the like joke of it. And then also too like just like seeing all the special like bullet time effects as they're like playing ping pong, like zooming around, and then seeing just like some pretty funny people pop up. You have Thomas Lennon popping up, or like
Terry Crews pops up. Yeah, no, he's great. Yeah, like all the fun people. It's Aisha Tyler's in there. Like it's got a really fun supporting cast like throughout the movie. It's really really fun.
Yeah. And they're gonna shout out Dan Fogler because he doesn't really have a lot of great movies, so this might be one of his best, honestly. But yeah, so I'd give it a solid A. Like I actually laughed pretty hard in some scenes. The only reason why I can't quite give it an S because I felt like some of the lines that they gave to James Hong were just pretty cheesy, and I was just kind of like, oof, they're giving him some kind of like bad dialogue. So like for that reason, I got to give it not quite an S. But if it makes the S tier, I won't be mad about it. But I'm gonna say
I cannot teach Guaylo.
Yeah, right. Jonathan, what do you think?
I'd be a John Burger because I have never seen this movie, and I heard that people who had seen the movie kind of didn't like it all that much. And the posters keeping floating me around. Part of me wants to very curiosity what it was, but also the review was like, no, it was like it's not a good movie. So I was kind of being respectful on that, but no, just put I hadn't seen it here.
All right, yeah.
And by the way, you say it's the best uses of ping pong. Forrest Gump will have a word with you with that.
That's a montage. Right. This is a whole movie, and it's great.
Yes.
Yeah. So like, I don't tempted to put Forrest Gump on here just for the lack of ping pong, but there's just not enough. It's like a 2-minute montage or something like that. So, but Ross, what do you think?
I think that this movie is an A tier. It's so silly, but I love it.
Yeah.
Because anything with Dan Fogler will make me laugh. Even with that movie that actually not a lot of people saw and I love it was Take Me Home Tonight. But still, I love Dan Fogler. I would watch anything with him. And then Hollywood, please greenlight his Sam Kinison movie he wants to make.
Yeah, Brother Sam. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's a video of his audition online. You can go watch it. There's a raw video of it.
Okay.
I do love Dan Fogler. So this movie's in the A category. And then I don't see the best motorcycle movie on your list either.
Well, we're doing car racing is a different thing, and then
okay, so then Hot Rod will be on the other list, right?
Possibly. I'm not sure. There'll be a debate on that one, but
Hot Rod's amazing, but yeah.
He's a stunt. He's just a general stunt man in that one, so I don't know about Hot Rod. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah.
So A tier.
Okay, Jordan.
Well, what do you think, Jordan?
Oh, fellas, come on! It's Christopher Walken. What can I say? Fogel. I love him. I'm always upset when I tune into Walking Dead, and he's very rarely on it. It's like every 10th episode. It's bullshit. Why cast him? All right, I'm starting to turn into like John Travolta. I don't know where I was going with that. Balls of Fury. This is actually, it's one of those comedies. I didn't outright love it the first time, but man, every time I've seen it, it does warm the heart like a little bit more.
It sticks with you, dude. It sticks with you. I'm probably telling you, you go back and watch it. It's fun.
Like things that I thought were kind of like cheesy or like just whatever the first time, I find myself laughing later on. So maybe I was just in a bad mood the first time. I don't know, man, but it really does kind of like stick with you. It is a charming movie. If it gets into S, I won't fight it. Maybe I'm following the high from it just now, because usually I would probably say B, but I'll give it an A.
Sweet.
All right. Yeah, and like I will say that Christopher Walken, I wish that he would have done more comedy throughout his career, because like like every single comedy role that he does is like hilarious to me. Like I
There's
laugh
something
almost
about
every
him when he
single
tries
time.
Howell, Joe Dirt.
Yeah,
Something
like
about him.
Yeah.
like even in like Wayne's World or like seeing it on like Saturday Night Live, where he's putting googly eyes on
Or
the
that
plants,
one music
or like the
video,
Continental, all that stuff.
or that one like music video he did, which was so random and weird but hilarious.
Fat Boy Slim. Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
Boy Slim
I
one.
almost said Moby. Wrong guy.
Yeah.
We're doing all the dancing, yep. But I think with
Hey, well, believe it or not,
was it
Jordan, it
a
has the
solid
same
A?
scores as Battle of the Sexes, so it actually goes right next to Battle of the Sexes and above Race.
All right.
Because I gave it an
Yeah.
S, so
Oh,
it
yeah.
goes above Race. It might be blasphemy,
We'll put it
but
there.
hey,
Yeah,
whatever.
No, it's all right.
The one that people's gonna
I'm not mad
Yeah.
about it, so yeah. I guess I'm up now. So
Yeah, you're up.
let's
So
see.
whatever you want to talk about.
So there's one that I want to talk about just because it's a personal pick for nostalgia reasons. So I want to explain why, but I want to go with the Big Green. So like Patrick
Oh,
Renna
boy.
from the Sandlot. So like I would rank it a lot higher than a lot of people would. I feel like I can understand why people don't really like this movie very much, but I think that it's fun seeing Patrick Renna, even Steve Gutenberg in there. So like for my it's like my ranking would probably be about a B, I would say. I mean, maybe just below Caddyshack, but the reason why is because so like we have one of the weirdest family traditions that you ever come across. So when I was a kid, I woke up on Christmas morning and I decided that before we go open presents, I was gonna, for whatever reason, throw on the Big Green, and then the next Christmas Eve. Christmas morning, I woke up again without really even thinking about it, and I threw on the Big Green again. So like I thought about it, I was like, hey, like I did this exact same thing last year. This has got to be a tradition. So now every single Christmas morning before we all open presents, me and all my siblings, we watch the Big Green. Because the Big Green, like Christmas, the main color of Christmas is green. So I mean, for that reason, it kind of fits, I guess, but not really. So yeah, so that's like a really weird tradition that my
Yeah, it's
family
a
has.
phenomenal Christmas movie, The Big Green.
Right.
What a great
Yeah,
Christmas movie.
That has nothing to do with Christmas, but it's a fun little movie. Like I would put it on a B tier. So, but we'll see what you guys say. Jonathan, what do you think?
I always seen it once, but that was very, very long time ago. I remember would be meh to me. I just didn't care for it when the last time I saw it, so I'll give it like maybe slightly B tier.
Yeah. But me and my friends also have done the thing with the birds. Like at the beginning, they're all laying down. They put a bunch of Cheetos on, and then like a flock of birds comes down at them. We actually tried that. It does not work like that. That is movie magic right there. But
yeah.
anyways,
Ain't with bread.
right? Yeah, but what do you think, Ross, for the Big Green?
This is a B tier only because of nostalgia. I don't know why, but most of the jokes did not land. But that one joke got me. That put in the B tier is when you know how goalies how they'll go like that and they'll wave.
Yeah,
Ready? It'll go like,
It's like,
"Hi,
"Hi,
I'm Larry."
Hi, I'm Larry. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best joke in the movie. But still, like I'm not the biggest Steve Gutenberg fan, but he did not annoy me in this. So that's really cool. That. But this movie, just for nostalgia, is a B. And then like Joe Sanders is now like always a great villain though.
Joe Sanders, yeah, I was gonna give a shout out. Joe Sanders as the coach of the Knights.
He's in Angels in the Outfield as the announcer.
right.
Remember?
Yes.
Yeah, they got little kids and they got girls on the team. They're the nothings, yeah, or whatever. but
Jordan,
what do you think?
you're muted.
Oh yeah.
That is true. I have not seen this one, so I'm gonna have to pass.
Okay.
All right, fair enough. Austin?
I hate to be the wet blanket on this one. I don't have the nostalgia for this one. I think it's easily the worst of all those '90s kids sports movies. Like I have like almost no love for this movie. It's miles below Rookie of the Year and The Sandlot and The Mighty Duck, even Little Giants, which is like not a great movie. I think it's like Little Giants is a mile ahead of this movie. I don't go back to it as much as I do the other ones, even as a grown ass man. But I think Big Green's like not great. I to me personally, it's like a D. I think it's the worst of all those
All right.
movies.
You know what? No,
Yeah, I didn't
no,
think
no,
people were
it
going to be
is-
very
it's
high
not
on
great
it.
though,
Yeah.
but it is better than a Kid and King Arthur's Court of those '90s sports movies.
I take Kid and
Oh,
Keanu's
yeah,
scored
yeah.
over the Big Green any day.
Yeah, but with that, I'd say that it gets a solid C, probably just like right below over the top.
It can
probably.
go above over the top because it had B grade, so it goes above over the
All right.
top at least.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we all gave
So
over the top C's. Yeah.
we'll put it there, but yeah. So we're gonna throw it back to Jonathan. So what you got next? What do you want to talk about?
Okay. I'm actually going to put another 90s sports comedy on the list. And I'm going to actually put a very underrated comedy from that time. I'm actually going to pick the first of all bowling on the list, and I'm picking Kingpin.
Mm.
And this will
All right.
get, like, basically S tier for me. I love this movie. Really love this movie. And there's something about this film just really makes me laugh right here. Every time I watch it, though, it's like, and basically what happened is the best part of the movie is for me is really Bill Murray is Big Earn, and basically he just really just plays it so smoothly. But in real life, the character is a really horrible person, and basically went there, basically saying like, "Oh, we have to go." Basically, just Woody Harrelson right here is like, and that guy is you, and basically just throws off, and the result of it just lost his hand along with it. Like, I actually really enjoy this movie. It's probably my favorite comedies from the Fairly Brothers besides Dumb and Dumber. So this is actually I watch it a lot along with it, and I do love the humor and the bowling aspect to it. So I will get like S tier for me.
Yeah, for sure. Ross, what do you think?
This is an S tier, and then the only reason I can give it is because of Bill Murray's comb over. If Bill Murray's comb over did not exist, this movie would be a B to a C. But Bill Murray's comb over just makes me laugh so much.
True. Yeah. Yep. Well, Jordan, what do you think for Kingpin?
Well, despite that comb over, I'm only gonna give it an A. It's good. It's a really good film. It holds up. There's still a tremendous amount of laughs here, and yeah, I'm gonna say an A. It's not quite S for me, but A.
All right, Austin, what do you think?
I'll give it a solid A. I like Kingpin. It's not one I go back to a lot, but I do remember laughing a lot with it. It's just not one of those repeat movies I go back to. But I do think it's better than There's Something About Mary, which is one of the most overrated Fairly Brothers movies out there, like way overrated. But I do think it's when they were still making good, silly movies, and you could tell they were still just like having a lot of fun. It's definitely probably the best bowling movie out there. I'll give it that, which there aren't that many of, but yeah,
Right.
I'm down with that.
Not many at all.
So yeah, not many.
Yeah.
I tried to look them up, and there's really not many. There's like a couple from the 50s, oddly enough, like really old bowling movies, and yeah.
Weird.
I just so cannot believe, though, is that Peter Farrelly is an Oscar winner now.
Is he now? For which movie?
He wrote, directed, and produced Green Book.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Interesting. I didn't even know that. Yeah, but like, yeah. So, well, for me, like, I'll give it an S tier, and like, probably I wouldn't have really seen this movie so much, but one of my old roommates was really high on this movie for whatever reason. Like he would put it on all the time because like it's like one of the few physical DVDs that he owned, so he was always watching it and like quoting it, and so and like I think that's a lot of fun. I do kind of feel like this is one of the movies that like piggybacked off of Dumb and Dumber, or like after Dumb and Dumber, it's like everybody wants to like jump on the Farley Brothers train. So they had Something About Mary, they had Kingpin, some of those movies, and so they got all these like big name stars in it. But we had a really awesome cast though. I mean, Randy Quaid, Woody Harrelson, Bill Murray, like even Lynn Shay is like the like really weird landlord lady in it. It was pretty solid. So yeah, like I would give it an S tier. Like I wouldn't even put it above Foxcatcher just because Foxcatcher is just so dark and depressing for me and weird that like I need a little more, like a little something more happier in my S tier. So yeah, I'll just put it there. But Jonathan, what do you think?
He nominated it.
I'm
Oh, you
not.
did. All right. Okay, that's right. Yeah, you already circled back around.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
Yeah.
but
Well, we
But we're
got
the
three
ones
S's and two A's, so it goes below Foxcatcher for now, but that could change later as we shuffle things around.
all right. Well,
Ross, you
let's
are
go
up
back to
there.
Ross.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go with this '90s sports comedy that actually is for kids, but it actually has an edge to it, and that one is
Keep the train going.
Ladybugs.
All right. Ladybugs. Let's see it. No, I saw it.
Right
Here.
above,
Oh,
it's right right there.
There you go.
Okay.
You got it.
Awesome. All right. Where would you want to put it?
I would put it in the
Would you-
B category, only
B,
because
okay.
like it's not the best movie, but I just love watching Rodney Dangerfield and then Jack A interact. Like so those two are just so funny. And then like Rodney Dangerfield as a soccer coach, he has some like the best like PG/PG-13 lines without going full R. And then nowadays, I know that this movie would get shit on for that one plot line, but that's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah. Jordan, what do you think for Ladybugs?
It's another one I have not seen.
Yep. Well, fair enough. Austin?
I don't know what it is about soccer movies, but I hate Ladybugs. I think it's a piece of shit. Look, my ex used to like watch it all the time. Like she had nostalgia for it. I didn't have any nostalgia for it. I found it just horrendously written. There was like some really creepy, weird stuff in the movie too. Like I don't remember what, but like I just remember being creeped out by some of the stuff in the movie. Like I don't know what it is, man. I hate Ladybugs. I would put it in like the F tier. I think it's garbage. I think that movie sucks. But I don't mean to be the damper on that one. But yeah, I don't like Ladybugs at all. I don't think there's a single, even with Rodney, who I love, but no, he's completely miscast in that movie.
Well, so what tier did you put it in?
F.
Low? Like
F.
F. Okay.
F. I think
all
it's one of the. I think it's one of the worst movies on this list, to be honest. Yeah.
All right. Well, I've never seen this movie, and actually, I'll go as far to say that I never even heard of it before we decided to do this. I was like, what? Like, he has some like weird soccer movie? Interesting.
Yeah.
So, but we'll say, like, for whatever reason, I just don't really like Rodney Dangerfield as an actor. But as a stand-up comedian, I think he's one of the greatest of all time. Like, I think he's an incredible stand-up comedian. But as an actor, I'm not really that high on him. I'm just kind of like, he's all right.
Have you seen Back to School?
I've seen Back to School, and that's probably one of.
It's probably his
One of the
best
best
movie
roles,
overall, to be honest. Yeah,
Yeah,
like, cause
that's
I
his
mean,
best
Little
one,
Nicky.
no,
Back to School is great.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
No.
Oh yeah, two in this movie too. R.I.P.
Yeah.
Jonathan Brandis. He was a really good actor.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, like he was
Well-
the one on Sequest, and then the It TV movie.
Okay, nice. Well, Jonathan, what do you think for Ladybugs?
I wish I hadn't seen this movie, but I did. And I go, Austin, this movie is a piece of shit. I hate this movie.
There we go.
It's so bad and fucking creepy. It just really,
Yeah.
everything Austin said, as I was about to say about this movie. This
Something
movie
for the F
is a
tier.
piece of crap. Just put it in the F tier. Just put it in the F
Yes.
tier. Put it way bombable. No one will see it.
Well, we have two Fs and a D. A B. So it probably actually ends up in the D.
It ends up in D, but yeah, I think there's, yeah.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah,
Ross.
you're right. It is a little bit creepy.
It
Like
is
when he
creepy.
told this kid, why
don't-
when he told this kid like, quit playing with my balls.
Or something. Yeah.
He's making like dick jokes in front of like 8-year-old girls. It's like really weird and creepy. Like
Yeah.
it's a really creepy movie. Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah, but the thing though about like that wouldn't fly today is that in order to make his team better, he actually like, dresses up his stepson as a girl.
Mm.
Oh yeah.
But even when you take
Yeah, I mean, I don't care about the whole like, oh, it wouldn't be made today. Like, whatever. I don't care because I love like Blazing Saddles. Like, I don't give a shit about that. It's just like if it's good or not. And like Ladybugs is not good. So
Yeah.
like
yeah,
that's
even if you
my
take
point.
that portion out of the movie, the movies will be terrible.
Yeah, it's still terrible.
Well, on that note, we'll throw it back over to Jordan O, and you're up next. So what do you want to nominate?
Let's see. I've been struggling between going serious or going with another comedy. I'll go with another comedy just because that's what comes to my heart. There's two of them I want to talk about. I'm gonna go with basketball though. I want to talk some basketball with you guys.
All right.
This is a favorite of mine. Later on, I think I bought it at Hollywood Video on their VHS clearance sale. This is a weird backstory, and really enjoying it.
Used to work there. Nice.
I'll put it in A's. There you go. That's already where it is. So yeah, it's really funny. It's a good, just like Orgasmo. You can kind of see the beginnings of where these two are going to go with Team America and South Park, obviously, and they're also really funny. Like I like them actually, like physically, like in movies as well too. You know what I mean? Like they have good facials. They're fun pairing. You can kind of see the what is it, the charisma between the two, or the chemistry rather, as friends, and a lot of little funny just side gags going on here. And it's definitely a 90s comedy, but that's one that I've always enjoyed.
Yeah, for sure. Austin, what do you think for basketball?
I've argued this from the beginning about including on this list. It's not an alternative sports movie. It's a basketball movie played on a baseball diamond. So I think I've been lobbying for it to be included with the basketball show because they're playing basketball just on a baseball diamond with baseball type rules. So I argue in the not an alternative sports movie.
Just out of curiosity, do you like it?
I like it enough. I don't think it's as good as everybody makes it out to be. I think the first 30 minutes is really good, and I think it trails off a lot. Like it falls off the cliff later. I kind of like the start of it, and then they bring up some interesting, like they play around with some interesting dynamics about the actual underground world of like putting sports together and things like that, and trades and all that kinds of like. But I think after it gets past that, I think it's not great. It's okay. If I had to give it a rank, I'd give it like a B. I think it's all right, but it's no Caddyshack. Sorry, it's just not.
Yeah.
But I would argue for that category.
Yeah. For me, this movie is kind of all over the place. So I actually watched it this week for the very first time, and like I really like parts of it. Like I really like the two actors. I always forget Trey Parker and Matt Stone.
Matt Stone, yeah.
Oh yeah. So that, like, I really like them in the movie. I think they're great. That I really like them on screen. I kind of like their interaction with like Yasmin Bleeth in the movie and stuff. But like the sport itself, like basketball, like what a stupid sport, and like why would that ever catch on? I don't understand. I just think that
it's a movie.
The sport was like just atrocious as an overall sport. But we're not judging how much we like the overall sport. We're judging how much we like the overall movie. I actually had a good time with it. Like I would probably put it at the bottom of A, exactly where it's at. So like I think that's a perfect spot for it. So I'll leave it there. But Jonathan, what do you think for basketball?
I would have put it in B tier because I like this movie and I do like some of the humor. Was partially for someone who was not sort of the biggest South Park fan personally, and I thought like there was a good moments in there, even though I think it was Trey or Matt using like Cartman's voice to distract one of the companions. Like,
oh yeah,
dance and like add like Cartman there, and that's the part I like though. Although I do like the commentary of Michaels along with it though, and basically sort of like explaining sort of the rules of basketball.
Yeah.
And well, I like the movie. I don't love it that's much as most people are, but I'll put in like a solid B tier.
Yeah, like I totally forgot about Bob Costas and Al Michaels. They're pretty great in it. Like at the end, when they finally win, they're like yeah, film my nipples. They're rock hard. Come on, or whatever. They're just saying kind of just these like off the wall things and stuff. Yeah. So it's pretty funny. I mean, yeah, but Ross, what do you think?
I like this movie a lot. You know, like it's not as good as people say, but it still is really funny. Like I think my favorite scene is the scene with the Ty Cobb bat.
Oh yeah.
You know, but this movie, you know, is really good. And then like I put it in the A tier. You know, it's a solid A movie. You know, it's not anything groundbreaking, but still, like speaking of groundbreaking though, Those two just became a whole lot richer.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
recently.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, recently.
Yeah.
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 Did you hear about that, Jordan? The South
that?
Park deal?
No, I didn't
Paramount
hear about
Plus is buying it for like close to $1 billion. Is buying South Park.
What?
Do you know how
Yeah.
much?
Really?
Do you know? Do you know how much?
Interesting.
How much the? Do you know how much
I
the
did not
exact
hear
amount they're getting paid for it?
A whole lot.
Yeah.
900 million.
Yeah.
That's freaking more than
Yeah.
Seinfeld. It's like, come on.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
Yeah,
that's because
but-
HBO has it right now, so they're buying it from HBO, right? Because it's on HBO Max right now, and it's going to Paramount.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's going to Paramount. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
The
yeah,
streaming wars are in full effect, ladies and gentlemen.
yeah, right. Seriously, people are getting paid. But
Mhm. Yeah.
I think A's though, it's probably where
It's
it
kind
ends
of
up, right?
according to my like Race had more solid A votes, so yeah, kind of a bottom of A is fair enough for right now.
All right, yeah, that sounds good. So
Mhm.
I believe Austin, I think you're up.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah.
we put it out long enough. I want to see what everybody thinks of Airborne because I have been championing this movie
All right.
since it came out, and I freaking like. I know it's kind of a cult movie, and know it's got a following. I freaking love Airborne, and I think it's like super, super overlooked and underrated. Kind of like Balls of Fury. Like it's a complete '90s movie. It's got extreme sports and hairdos and tie dye shirts and but it's also got
and all that
yeah.
stuff,
But the
like
guy
surfing
who
dudes.
plays Mitchell Guzin is like actually really good. He's got a good character. Seth Green is great. Jack Black is a lot of fun. It's got the character of Snake. I forget the actor's name. He's great.
Spanish guy, yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, that last 20 or 25 minutes when they're doing the Devil's Backbone run is pretty incredible to watch, actually, because it's all real. Like, there's no CGI. Like, it's real, like, people riding this thing and, like, getting hit by cars and, like, going under semis and, like, jumping ramps. Like, it's pretty bonkers crazy. And I think for that aspect of all the stuff they do in the movie and the fact that it's also a decent story, I'd put it in S tier. But, again, like All Balls of Fury, I'm skeptical about how it's going to stay there, but I'll at least try.
Well, so we'll watch Airborne for the very first time this week to prepare for this episode. And I will say that the 90s me would have given it an S tier all the way. And I think even current me still probably like put myself in that like 90s mindset and actually still give it an S tier. I'd put it a little lower, like I think probably at the bottom of S tier, but like yeah, like it was a lot of fun. The only thing I don't really get is like why when it goes to this high school, why is like every single male at the high school some kind of angsty like bully type character? Every single male in the whole school is like a freaking bully, and they all want to fight each other. Like it's kind
I
of
think
weird.
we just didn't have enough time to get introduced to the rest of the school, but yeah, I mean Seth Green's not a bully character. I mean he's
like he's the only one though. Like
yeah, it seems like he's the only one in the whole school, but hey.
Yeah,
I mean, it's another one of those movies where everybody in the movie is like 25 playing like 16 years old or whatever. But it is what it is.
But like the end scene though was like pretty awesome. Like the like going on the Devil's Backbone or whatever, and then like just like seeing some of the opening montages of them. Like even though like it wasn't like the best like shot like scenes, like it's kind of cool seeing them like doing all the rollerblading tricks and all the surfing stuff. So I had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, I will give it a low S. So yeah, but Jonathan, what do you think?
I haven't seen it. I didn't even heard of this movie. So
okay.
that changing clothes montage, by the way, that Seth Green does is still really funny to this day.
Oh yeah, they're playing I'm Too
Sexy montage, and he's putting on the different outfits. It's pretty damn funny. But yeah,
it is. Yeah, like the main guy was like laughing at like every outfit, and like I was kind of laughing along with him almost. So yeah, but Ross, what do you think for Airborne?
Oh, this is an S tier, and it's actually like my favorite. I mean, it's my second favorite skating movie of all time because of nostalgia. My first one is actually this Disney TV movie called Brink.
Brink is awesome. Yeah.
And
the only reason it's not on the list is because we don't really include TV movies, so we couldn't really include it on here. But yeah, I love Brink. Brink is great.
Yeah, but still, like this movie is so much a '90s cheese. And then you
Mhm.
crack up the most.
So much.
The character says that he's a pacifist, and yet he's like pulling guys' pants down and stuff.
Yeah, right. When he pants the guy, yeah.
Yeah, so
That's pretty
so
good.
now but still, this movie is like the best type of bad. I still think it's good, but it's also bad. Like it's not as good bad as Over the Top, but I think it's better
No,
made than Over the Top.
it's like the greatest, like stereotypical '90s movie ever. It's like the best example of that. It's so great.
Yeah, right. I would agree, but
Jordan,
what do you think?
I've never seen it, but you're convincing me maybe I should.
Yeah.
Yes, because Jordan, now like imagine like a young emo Seth Green.
Yeah.
I do like Seth Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's one of Jack Black's earliest things. He's great. Like he's standing in front of the classroom and he's just like, oh, they're doing this montage of everybody's gonna say something about themselves on the first day of school, and he's like, my name's like Augie, and I like to sleep. Like Nintendo.
Oh, yeah, like Nintendo.
Like Nintendo. I like to sleep. He's a total idiot.
That's how I first heard of it. I heard Jack Black talking about it.
Yeah.
Well, with that, I think that it probably stays in the S.
It's going to go in low S because it's only got 3 votes, but they're all S. So I was happy. I'm happy about this. I'm super excited about this.
Yeah. So
awesome.
I guess I'm up, and so
I'm going to step away for just a second. I'll be right back.
Sure.
Yeah, me too. I got to charge my computer.
Sure. Yeah. But one of the movies I want to talk about, though, was a movie that when I saw it, I didn't have a very high hopes, but I was absolutely blown away when I saw it. I want to talk about McFarlane USA. So this movie, when I saw it, it's a movie about cross-country runners and it stars Kevin Costner as the coach, and it's these guys they're just kind of like these Hispanic workers that just worked out in the fields that pick different crops and vegetables, and then he just trains them into being these cross country runners. There's a lot of heart to it though, and they really show what's a great showcase of the Latino culture. I feel like they really show how how Latino culture, they usually have a pretty big families. They're really high on family and standing up for each other, and even just with their friendships, they consider themselves a family too. And so I absolutely love this movie. The movie that, but right when it came out on Blu-ray, I went out and I bought it the first week. So I'm gonna say S tier for it. I was just blown away, and there's not really a lot of fanfare surrounding it. It's just kind of this cross country movie, but I would recommend anyone to go check it out, and you'll be pleasantly surprised for sure. I would say so. But Jonathan, what do you think?
I actually seen it one of my last year at high school. Actually, it was our teacher just popped this up there and just watched it to the class. I really liked the movie, and it's not. I'm actually giving it a B tier, so it's one of those Disney sports films. One that kind of still good, and I'm actually gonna put it B tier.
All right, yeah, that sounds good. Ross, what do you think?
This one is an S tier for me. I love this.
Yes, let's go. I freaking love it too.
Yeah, I just think that Kevin Costner, this is one of Kevin Costner's most underrated performances. And then they make the training intense. That scene is where
they do
running up on the almonds. I was like, fall, please don't fall. Because those almonds, people, I told some people, and then they go and they're like, almonds? What's the big deal about that? And I go, these almonds are actually stacked so high.
Yeah, they're run up these little mini hills is kind of what he's talking about. So for the cross country training, they got to run up these steep little hills and then back down and then back up these hills. So yeah, it's pretty intense training for him. But Jordan, what do you think? Have you seen McFarlane USA?
I told you off air. I'm going to say this a few times. Haven't seen this one.
All right. Well, no worries. What about you, Austin? Have you seen it?
I appreciate what the movie was trying to do. Unfortunately, I found this more in the corny inspirational movies than like genuinely
Oh, man.
inspirational.
Oh,
I
right.
think I got really bored of the movie. The movie's way too long. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes. It's way too long for the material that they have. It should be like a tight 90, 100 minutes, and it stretches. And not. I feel the length. I think it's not bad, but like to me, it's like corn. It's like the worst of like cornball Disney inspirational stuff. I just didn't. I didn't connect to it. To me, at best, it's like a C. Just to me personally.
Well, with that, we have two S's, a B, and a C. So I'm just wondering if it like ends up at the top of B or maybe low A because we got two S's. So
It would be around
maybe like here or even like
maybe
right in front of
around
Caddyshack.
basketball or something. Yeah, maybe or around race. Maybe around race or basketball. Yeah, something like that.
I'll just throw it at the bottom
Yeah. Okay.
of A tier. That sounds about right for it. So,
All right.
but yeah, well, we're back to Jonathan. You're up again. So what do you got?
I'm okay. I'm picking the first. I'm actually gonna pick an underrated movie on my list for one of my favorite directors. I'm picking The Color of Money, directed by Martin Scorsese.
All right.
And
Yeah.
it was the sequel to The Hustler, and I did not know it was the sequel to The Hustler until many years later. And I'm actually going to put it on S tier because I think it's Scorsese's most underrated films. And this is sort of the first Scorsese film that one of his films, I guess, one of his actors won an Oscar, which is saying something because for his films, they should have gone to his other movies then, but that's more near and there.
Yeah.
And I thought this movie is a very interesting sort of a mental relationship between Paul Newman and Tom Cruise, and is a very underrated Tom Cruise performance. And it plays sort of this, well, I think it's sort of known all right here. Paul Newman thought it was sort of out of the game along with it, and Cruise was trying to sort of persuade him to come back. And I think their banter was working very well. And I think I do love some of the shots when Scorsese does, like basically, the pinball shots right here. Even at the end of the movie, when Newman sort of catharsis Cruise, when it does, and it's sort of like basically right here and it's a movie like that. So I love this film. It's a very underrated film. If you hadn't seen it, it's a very good film along with that. So I'll put it on S here for The Color of Money. And I'm going to grab that for a second, guys. Okay.
Sure. Yeah. No worries. So we got one vote for S tier. What do you think, Ross?
I've never seen it, but I do want to. I actually do know, like, want to like binge this with The Hustler, and plus, like, I actually do want to see this is because like I'm a huge Mary Elizabeth Master Antonio fan. She's really good, actually. Like with this, Scarface, The Abyss, and then Robin Hood, but still, I do want to see this, but Tom Cruise's hair in it just makes me laugh. So I will watch it eventually.
Yeah. Well, Jordan, have you seen it? What do you think? We can just hold it up every time, right?
I think that so far, out of all the Scorsese films I've seen, I think that Bringing Out the Dead is the most underrated.
All right.
I do like that.
What do you think for The Color of Money?
Yeah, I watched Color of Money, if you remember, for our the sequels episode we did with Jeff Snyder. That was the first time I watched it, so it's pretty recent. I think I rated it the same as what I would have rated it there, which I don't think we got around to it, but I would have rated it a B because The Hustler is the better film, and I think The Hustler is like an S tier, only because Tom Cruise's character is fairly unlikable in that movie as opposed to most of the characters in The Hustler. So I would put it, I think it's okay, but it's a little too long. It doesn't have a very satisfying ending. I go B for Color of Money.
Yeah. So, unfortunately, I have not seen it either. There's one that's pretty high on my list that I do want to see, but for a pool movie, like I was almost tempted to put There's this other pool movie that's called Pool Hall Junkies that has like Christopher Walken and Chaz Palminteri, but we can only make the list so long, so it's kind of like, we'll just go with Color of Money. But
I would have loved to have talked Pool Hall.
yeah.
How come Rounders isn't on here then?
When you've actually seen
Rounders.
I have seen that. I've seen Rounders too.
Yeah.
I also was going to mention, what was it? The one about Lance Armstrong. The program's pretty good.
Oh yeah. Another one that we could have thrown on the list, but with
Jordan,
that,
we only have 2 votes, so it goes in the haven't seen category. Unfortunately for Jonathan. Well, that's the alternative sports. Put it in the haven't seen category. Same with Brittany, because Brittany was haven't seen overall.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all right.
Well, we'd give Jonathan another pick, but he stepped away for a minute. But we'll get back to him.
Yeah. But
Ross, why don't you pick something else?
I'm going to pick Chariots of Fire.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And I'm going to put this in the C category.
Whoa.
Okay. All right.
Okay. It's a boring movie except for that great score at the end.
Yep.
You know yeah, but it's okay. I mean, it did not deserve Best Picture that year.
Yeah. Well,
okay. You know.
We'll see what everyone else has to
Ian
say.
Holm, though. Ian Holm, though, was great. Ian Holm is always great, though.
Yeah. Well, Jordan, have you seen Chariots of Fire?
Just give me 1 second.
Yeah. Oh, you're good. Oh, okay. Nope. Wah, wah. Austin, how about you?
Dude, Chariots of Fire is an S tier movie. I was going to bring it up because it's like I think it's the only Best Picture winner we have on here. So I think it absolutely deserves to be in the S tier. And it's not just the score. I think it's genuinely like I was talking about bad inspiration from McFarlane USA. I think Chariots of Fire is good inspiration. It's actually done well. I would go S tier for Chariots of Fire, but I think it may be a product of its time because it's back in '81, so maybe just not enough people have seen it.
Yeah, but you know, like I'd rank it. It's not bad though, but I'd rank it 3rd out of the Best Picture because I preferred On Golden Pond was my 2nd favorite that year. And
that's a snooze fest.
I think that like Raiders of the Lost Ark is their Best Picture that year.
Yeah. Well, I would probably agree with that, but yeah, I mean, still, yeah.
But yeah, for me, it's probably a movie that I need to give another rewatch to. Well, I have seen it, but I saw it when I was pretty young, like I was probably maybe like 10 or like 11 years old, and I just remember it being like a snooze fest. I remember just being so bored. Just like when is this movie gonna end? Like I remember the score. Like the score's great. Like it's one of the all-time great scores for like inspirational type movies. But at the same time, like I just don't remember very much of it, and I just think that I just really need to give it another rewatch. But for what I do remember, I think C's about right for me. Like
it's definitely it's no Big Green. I know. Yeah,
so Big Green. Right?
Yeah, it's right on the same level as Big Green, a Best Picture winner and a shitty Disney kids movie. Yeah, it's right on the same level as Over the Top.
Someone's gonna look at this and go, "Wait a minute, Caddyshack's what? Chariots of Fire?
Chariots of Fire's what?
Balls of Furies, eh?
Yeah, right.
It's on the same level, like C, right? We got 2 C's.
So Austin, you really think that Ladybugs is the worst movie on the list?
Yes.
I do. I disagree.
Well,
no. I don't think that anybody's gonna talk about the worst movie on this list. So
I don't know. I'm looking through the list. I don't know. Like what? Blue Crush? I don't know.
No,
Blue Crush is pretty bad.
But we got a couple C's and we got an S though. So I think that it goes a little higher. Like it probably goes.
It at least goes next to Caddyshack. God damn it! At least.
Right. Yeah.
Do not put it next to Over the Top because it's better than Over the Top. Come on now.
The Ringer is the worst movie on this list.
No way.
That's right. No.
Awesome. Boo.
No. Fucking Rollerball, the 2002 was the worst movie.
Oh, there you go.
The Ringer, though, The ringer is
Yeah.
actually offensive.
Ringer's
Though.
awesome.
The ringer is actually pretty offensive.
No, rollerball's the shits. Yeah.
Rollerball's
But the
offensive to
Ringer-
movie fans.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
But the
but
Ringer was actually
though,
made in
I'm a part of
conjunction with the Special Olympics, and they approved everything, all the jokes, everything. They have people that are they're actually mentally challenged in the movie to like give them some screen time in a movie with Johnny Knoxville, you know. So I mean, like I don't think that it can be that offensive if the Special Olympics approved everything, you know. But that's just me though. But anyway, who's up?
Well, you can go ahead and real quick. We don't even need to go around. Just put rollerball in the F tier because something else needs to be in there.
Sure,
Yeah,
yeah, we can put
it's
it
not
in
going
F
to take
tier.
much consensus. Rollerball's the shits. It's
I
in
don't
the
know.
middle by
Shane
Shane
Secretary.
McMahon and Paul Heyman's in it. I might argue.
And Paul
D.
Heyman, yeah, I know. But Paul Heyman went to go film that movie instead of
Yeah.
saving
Okay.
ECW, so F him for doing that.
All right, back to F. Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so who's up though? Like I'm a little out of order here.
Do you want to give Jonathan a
it's-
second chance, or me?
Yeah. Jonathan gets his second chance.
Well, Jonathan,
Give me a second
unfortunately,
chance.
your color of money did not have enough scene votes to make the list. So, did you have another one you wanted to quickly talk about?
Yeah.
I would have picked. You know what? Going a little outside the box. Gonna arguably, well, some of you might not view it as a sport, but it is a sport. In my case, bring it on.
Bring it on. Let's see right here.
It was in the top right, yeah, something like that. Mhm.
Oh, okay.
Where would you want to rank it?
I want to rank it as the S tier.
S tier. Huh? All right. We'll see what. Well, why do you say S tier?
I really love this movie. I didn't feel like if I would, and as that's a more, fun cop movie that a lot of people are getting the credit for. It's basically sort of like, that's what I put this, sort of like the more of a preppy type of thing, and I really enjoyed about this movie, so I would put it like on S tier.
All right. Well, Ross, what do you think?
This is an S tier movie. I know that I wasn't expecting to like it, because like me and my cousin were hanging out, so we want to go to a movie. Yeah, Bring It On's out. But then we were actually like laughing with it and not at it. But then it is actually like not a bad movie. And then the actors in it are actually pretty good. Like Elijah Dushku, I don't think is terrible. And then it has Jesse Bradford, who's a good actor. So yeah, it's actually not that bad of a movie.
Yeah. Well, Jordan, have you seen this one?
I'm just kidding. I've seen it. I've seen it.
All right.
I've seen it. I also really like it. I've liked it since it first came out. It was very quotable at the time. Obviously, you already showed love to Eliza Dushku. She's great in this. Even Kirsten Dunst. Like you said, it's a funny movie, man. On paper, it definitely doesn't seem like it would be up maybe anyone here's alley, but it's well written. It's funny. Maybe I'm being harsh, but I'm just gonna give it an A personally.
All right. Well, Austin, what do you think?
A strong B. I like Bring It On. I don't love Bring It On, but I will say it's a deceptively smart movie. You'd think like a cheerleading movie would be kind of dumb and silly, but the script is actually deceptively smart, and there's actually some good stuff in it as far as the screenplay goes. I hate what they've done to the franchise. They've made like 6 direct-to-video movies, just attaching the stupid name to it. They've dragged it through the mud, and it's a shame because the original one is actually pretty good. But I give it like a strong B. I don't love it, but I do like it more than it's definitely better than a lot of people would think if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, so like I'm kind of right with you, Austin. Like I think that it belonged in the B tier, just because like I don't think that it's an amazing movie. Like it definitely has a fair amount of cheesiness to it, but it's still fun though. Like it's still like a good time. Like it's not something that I really go back to often. Usually it's like one of those kind of date night movies, like with some girl that like really wants to watch it, but it's not one I'm gonna just sit down with my family or like with my guy friends or anything like that, or even by myself. I like usually gotta like have a girl involved for me to go back to it. So I'm gonna put it in the B tier, and it just it's perfectly fine for the Toros v the Clovers in that one. So I'll just say that. So I think with that though, we got mostly S tier and then a couple of B tier.
We
so
had
maybe somewhere.
two S's, an A, and two B's. It's around Battle of the Sexes or Dodgeball. Actually, it's not bad. Maybe mid A, like around Balls of Fury, something like that. Yeah, we can play around with
Yeah,
it.
we can put it right there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see whatever ends up.
But yeah, so who's up next? Is it Jordan?
Jordan, I believe, because we went down to Jonathan and we're going back up
Yeah.
to Jordan. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
All right. Uh-huh.
What you got?
I'm gonna go with a recent comedy that was really funny and well done, with a nice little bit of an edge to it. The Bronze,
Ooh, yeah,
Melissa
yeah.
Rauch from Big Bang Theory is a totally different person here. Very
totally.
much earned its R rating. Fantastic sex scene, and I don't mean that in a sexy way. The way they shoot it with doubles and choreography is fantastic. And then this is it's one of those characters that I think a different actor / actress, it might be too mean spirited, but you really enjoy watching her. So yeah, I really think it. I want to talk about it. Excuse me.
Yeah, where would you want to rank it? Do you think?
Screw it. Let's go S.
All right, S. Yeah. So, Austin, what do you think? Have you seen it? Or?
Well, maybe Jordan can like hold that sign up above like my face because I haven't seen it. So
Okay,
wave it around. I have not seen the Bronze. That was one of the ones when it was on the list and I didn't know what it was and I didn't get around to watching it. So sorry, I've not seen the Bronze.
Yeah, so I actually have seen it and we watched it this week in preparation for the show. So, and I thought that it was great. Like, I kind of think of it as like kind of like a really raunchy Napoleon Dynamite, almost like it kind of has like low-key some of those vibes almost, but it involves like gymnastics. But like I had a lot of fun. Like I was laughing from like beginning to end. Like and there's some solid people that'll pop up in it. Like you see like Sebastian Stan pop it.
Yeah, good old Winter Soldier.
Yeah, then you see like Thomas Middleditch. So like even Gary Cole. So, Gary Cole I think maybe plays her dad. I think, but yeah, like it was a good movie. Like I had a lot of fun with it. Like, surprisingly, like I was pretty blown away. Like I'm gonna say S tier for it. Yeah, let's go S tier for the Bronze. So, Jonathan, what do you think? Have you seen it?
No, I have not. I have not seen it.
Okay. Ross?
What
do you think?
Nope, haven't seen it yet.
Not enough people, even though
not enough people. 2 S's.
Wait, there's 3. Remember?
No, it's only
we need 3. It's only him and Jordan. We only got 2 votes.
Yeah. Because
so 2 votes doesn't cut it, unfortunately.
Did you guys put I, Tonya on the list or no?
It's going to be on the winter sports movies when we get to winter sports because that's figure skating.
Okay.
So we're going to do like a cold weather winter sports.
Because like isn't Sebastian
highly
Stan
recommend
also in I, Tonya?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah. He plays Jeff Galooly. Yeah.
They're 2 kind of similar movies, but I'd recommend it though. I'd definitely check it out though. Like I was laughing pretty hard in it. So yeah.
Yeah, but her new show is gonna flop.
Yeah,
I haven't even seen that.
Yeah.
No, it's not out yet. But
I haven't even heard of it.
They're doing a remake. A reboot of Night Court where she's Harry's daughter.
I don't hate that.
Okay.
I don't hate that. If it's well written, she's great, and like it's a good comedy. As long as it's well written, it all depends. It could be shit. It could be great.
Yeah. But Austin, you're up next. So what do you want to pick?
I'm not terribly enthusiastic about the rest of the movies on the list. I did work at a movie. I did work at the movie theater when Blue Crush came out, and holy crap, that movie's a piece of shit too. So I might as well. Now I don't know if I'd rank it as bad as Ladybugs, only because at least some of the girls are like hot walking around in bikinis. So I'd put it in the D tier, just because.
Yeah. Well, I've never seen it, so you can just skip past me. But Jonathan, have you seen it, Blue Crush?
No, I haven't seen it, so
that's fine. You're not missing anything.
Ross?
I have seen this. and then like it is a D, but if the girls were not hot, it would be an F. Is because like I do not need to see Faison Love in a Speedo ever again.
Yeah.
True.
And there's like a weird scene where they're like housekeepers at a hotel and they come to bring Faison Love his condoms from his like garbage can or something or off the floor or something. It's like really weird. It's got very strange stuff in the movie. I don't know.
Instead of Blue Crush, we should have put the movie Into the Blue. That would have been a better surfing movie, maybe with like Paul Walker, you know. But
I don't think it's a surfing movie. It's not a surfing movie.
Fine then.
What's a surfing movie? Like there's surfing in it.
Fine,
Yeah, Into the Blue.
If we had to
It's a
put
surfing movie.
that one in, and like then Point Break would be on the top of S then.
Yeah, like that one was like one I kind of thought about, but there's so many different sports they're doing all over the place. So I was like, I can't really nail it down. So it's
not a sports movie. It's a crime movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah, overall, but Jordan, what do you think of it?
Never heard of James, so I never got to it.
No.
Hey, you're not missing anything.
All right.
That's fine. We only had 2
I'm
votes.
starting to think I did see it. I don't know. I didn't see it.
Yeah.
I got 2 votes for it. So, but so I got to see what you guys are gonna say because I already know.
Oh boy.
Ross's take on it, but I got to go with The Ringer. I think The Ringer is awesome. I freaking love this movie. And my favorite line is like when he sticks all the kids out. He's like, "When the fuck did we get ice cream?" Because he's like making up some kind of lie. So he just says that out of nowhere. Like that makes me laugh so hard. I quote that line all the time. I'm not gonna give it an S tier or anything. Like I'd probably give it probably a solid B, but I'd put it at the top of B. For me personally, I like it better than both Chariots of Fire and Caddyshack. That's just me. That's where I would put it.
Film enthusiast,
and also I'm a huge Johnny Knoxville fan. Like I'll watch anything that Johnny Knoxville does, even the movie Bad Grandpa or whatever.
That
one
was hilarious, but the worst one he
super
did,
funny. Yeah.
Though the worst one that he ever did was called Action Point.
Yeah.
Ugh, Action Point is terrible. And even Johnny Knoxville himself admitted he did all this shit where he got so hurt on Action Point for a movie that nobody saw.
Did you hear what happened on the set? Did you hear what happened on one of them?
A lot of things happened to him on set. He went to the hospital like 5 different times.
The worst one. He actually popped his eye out of his socket, right? Then the doctor actually said like no sneezing for 6 weeks. And then like one night he got a little bit drunk.
He's gonna sneeze and like pop his eyeball out.
Yep.
Oh man, that's so bad. But yeah, so I'm gonna go with B tier. But Jonathan, what do you think?
I hadn't seen it, so skip me.
Oh man, you scratched my CD. You picked it up in clear daylight and you scratched it. Just like the lines that they deliver like that. This cracked me up for whatever reason, but Ross, what do you think?
I would put this as a D category. I don't think it's that funny, and I'm part of Special Olympics, so
yeah.
But still, it's not awful. I totally get it. It's just too. And plus, I think this is my own personal bias. 2 personal biases about being in Special Olympics, and the actress I hate. I hate the actress.
Oh, Katherine Heigl,
yeah.
But. Well, also, I will say that I hate movies too. But at the very end, they do some kind of music montage where they're all singing karaoke, sort of like in Shrek 2. I just hate that stuff. I think it's really cringy. So for that's probably one scene I can't stand. But the rest of
the 40-year-old virgin though did it great. The 40-year-old virgin did it great.
True. But Jordan, what do you think for The Ringer?
What I really want to see one day is someone like Martin Scorsese to be brave enough to end in a movie musical. I think that'd be cool. Yeah. You know what I mean? Matt Damon gets shot in the head and departed, but then he opens up his eyes and goes, "Everybody dance now."
Yeah,
and that's how they do the credits.
Well, so one day, just break out on the song.
Yeah,
one day. As for this, though, I'm gonna go with what Ross said. I'm gonna say a D. There's a couple of redeeming laughs and moments it tries, but for the most part, it doesn't work for me either. So I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna say D.
All right.
Yeah, because I'm plus two. About the whole Scorsese thing, that could work is because people said like he can never make a children's film, and yet he made one that was great.
Yeah, Hugo.
Hugo. Yeah.
Hugo was amazing, I thought.
Austin, though, what do you think of the Ringer?
I'm happy that you like the Ringer as much as you do, Jordan. But I think it's
Freaking love the Ringer. Just like all the lines.
I like Johnny Knoxville too. I'm a big Jackass fan, but like when he tries to actually act, I think he pretty much fails almost every time. So no, the Ringer, no. It's like if giving it a C would be like generous. So I no D. I'm with everybody else.
Gotta show some love for the mentally challenged, like actually being in like a legit wide release movie that like
good. The Peanut Butter Falcon, a much better movie.
right. Yeah.
But Peanut Butter Falcon's amazing.
Yeah, that's a better movie than the Ringer.
Give it a B, and then we got a bunch of D's, so probably still gonna. I feel like maybe even stay in D just because like it didn't get a high enough other votes. So, but I'm gonna put it at the top of D. I'm gonna put it above Ladybugs.
To be fair, I'd watch it before I'd watch Ladybugs, but that's not saying a whole lot.
Right. Well, do you want to move
Hail Mary time, Jordan. Hail Mary time, Jordan. All right.
Yep. So basically, for the Hail Mary round, everyone's gonna just like shoot for the S tier. So like S tier or like a high A tier, because at the end of the episode, we're gonna have a solid top 10 and then 3 honorable mentioned, and I'm gonna put it in a poll over on the Schwinn and Friends and Family group over on Facebook, and let the community vote on our top 10. So if there's anything you guys think might deserve an S tier or an A,
and Jordan, can I say we've been doing it a little differently lately, and I think it's kind of worked out this way. I think everybody get a turn, maybe name a couple that you would throw out there. If we have any crossover, we'll vote on the ones that have crossover that get enough kind of mentions, and then just see if any of those have enough support to kind of warrant a vote, we'll say. So I think that's kind of what we've been doing. So like that's what we did last couple episodes, and it kind of worked out like that. So I'll write down whichever ones get the most mentions, and then maybe we'll go from there.
Yeah, so to start off, we're just going to go around the room, and we're just going to name the ones that we think would be in the S or the.
So you can name more than one. You can name, if you think a couple deserve to either be an A or S, and then I'll see if we have any crossover, and we'll vote on the crossovers. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, so we're not going to really talk about them super in depth. We're just going
to we don't talk about them super in depth, but the ones that have crossover, we can talk about a little bit more. We can expand on. But yeah. So Jonathan, you got any last second Hail Marys, S or A?
Okay. I'm looking for 2 of them.
Okay.
Seabiscuit and the greatest game ever played.
All right.
And then Ross.
Okay, then I've got 3. I've got Pride, the greatest game ever played, and Tin Cup.
Tin Cup, okay.
All right. Yeah.
Pride's really good.
Yeah. Jordan?
I'll go with 2 different ones that haven't been mentioned yet. Bended Like Beckham and Invictus.
All right. Austin?
I would second Seabiscuit, and I'd second the greatest game, or third greatest game ever played as well.
Yeah. So for me, there's not really like a lot left of the movies that I've actually seen. Like I would really even great.
And The Hustler. And The Hustler, because The Hustler is better than The Color of Money. Sorry, I almost missed The Hustler.
Lord of Dogtown isn't terrible though. Lord of Dogtown is pretty good.
So probably I would even send a third to the greatest game ever played, and then
Four,
yeah.
And also I want to nominate Borg versus McEnroe. Like that movie actually kind of surprised me seeing that one, so I'll throw that one in there.
All right, so we'll go around the horn, and does anybody give S or A around the thing to the greatest game ever played? And we'll go around the horn. So
okay.
Yeah, I would.
Yep, I would too.
And Jordan hasn't seen it. Okay. Well, we have a couple S's, so I think it can get thrown up there. Yeah. A couple of quick S's.
And then actually have like Elias Cotier's best performance he ever given.
Oh yeah,
Casey Jones.
TMNT.
He's great. Yeah.
Yeah, Casey Jones.
Right.
All right. We had a couple of nominations for Seabiscuit, so we'll go around the horn and what everybody gives Seabiscuit. Jonathan?
Yes.
I mean, as far as S? Okay.
That's what we already know. Jordan, he's already got it up there.
Okay. Okay. Ross, Seabiscuit?
Hey.
A, okay. I'd probably go S. I think it's the best horse racing movie that's probably ever been put up, so yeah. Jordan?
I need to get a whiteboard because I haven't seen it, so I can't really say.
It's good. It's good.
Should I
It
pull
is
up my
good.
whiteboard?
Like, and then I remember this was the reason too why Tobey Maguire almost didn't come back as Spider-Man too.
Yep. So,
Well, we had two
votes to
S's
throw it
and
up
an
there, you
A.
think?
Two S's
Yeah, we
and an
can throw
A.
it
Yeah, we had 3 votes. So
Throw it
yeah,
back at the
maybe
top
bottom of
the
S,
tier.
top of A or bottom
bottom
of
of
S, yeah,
S,
something
yeah.
like that. Okay.
We'll do that. What else we got?
We had a couple of shout outs for Tin Cup. So any love for Tin Cup? With Kevin
It's
Costner?
okay.
I haven't seen that.
Okay.
Yeah, has anybody besides me seen Pride?
No.
I've not seen it.
No.
Oh, it's with the
No.
Bernie Mac
On
series.
my whiteboard now too. I have not seen
No.
it.
Oh,
Go to
I got a whiteboard over there. I can't reach it.
The best
Yeah.
part though is actually they make Randy Quaid into this racist prick swimming. Oh no, sorry, Tom Arnold into this racist prick swimming coach.
Okay.
All right.
I definitely want to see it, but yeah.
So
maybe not enough.
Round the horn for Invictus with Clint Eastwood movie.
Nope, never seen it.
No, I haven't seen that.
I've seen it, but it wasn't great. I'd give it like a B at best. Sorry.
No,
I give it a
What about
solid
Kicking
A. I
and
think.
Screaming?
Like I'd be okay with it being in the A tier.
Oh, 2 A's.
Yeah. So
What do you think
Well,
about
2
those?
A's and a B. Well, 2 A's and a B doesn't do a whole lot for it as far as getting in.
What
about an S and A and a B?
yeah.
An S and A and a B.
Yeah, what about
the
anybody ever see Kicking and
Switch it.
Screaming or Lords of Dogtown?
Kicking and Screaming is annoying. No.
Yeah.
I would
That's one
give
of
Wolf
the
of
worst.
Wall Street.
Yeah.
Lords of Dogtown is okay.
Even though I met
Yeah.
Coach Ditka,
all right.
still a B or C.
I might be the lone one
Guy?
that really sticks up for The Hustler as like an S tier pool movie, but
I've
I
never
might be
seen it,
alone in
so-
that. I haven't seen it. Yeah, well, I figured it's like 1961, so a lot of people haven't seen it.
You can watch the movie trailer for that. It's like really weird. It's one of the weirdest movie trailers I've ever seen. Like
Yeah.
I like watched it to see if I was gonna try to watch it for this episode. I'm like, that looks really weird. No, probably not.
Well, Jordan, that's about it. So maybe time to kind of play around with our list up there. So you want to
What
scroll
about
back
Ford
up
versus
and play
McEnroe?
around?
Would anyone vote?
No.
No,
for
what
McEnroe?
about Rad?
Have you guys ever seen it? Oh man, I freaking like it, but yeah.
Rad
Rad's
was amazing. It's just like Airborne.
It's not
That's
just like
fine, but-
Airborne.
but what-
It's not just like Airborne.
I
Wouldn't
mean,
put it on the
I
same
mean, like
level,
the same
probably.
type of, like how it's just it defines the '80s.
yeah.
And
It's a perfectly fine '80s movie, but it's not great. I would say.
it's not. No. It's
Yeah.
No, all
So-
the love for it online is strictly nostalgia. So yeah.
So if we're pulling these movies are based on how we voted, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 7. So like based on like how it's sitting,
Dodgeball.
we did Dodgeball, Battle of the Sexes, and Balls of Fury maybe in the top 10.
Mhm.
So
I put McFarlane though in there.
you okay with that? I would too. I would put
Actually, you know what?
So maybe like an honorable mention for McFarlane. We got a couple of S votes for McFarlane.
Well, let
Looks
me
like
look at the votes and see how the honorable mentions might
Honorable.
play out. McFarlane had 2 S's, a
S?
B, and a C. Bring It On had 2 S's, an A, and 2 B's. Race had no S votes.
So probably
Neither
not.
did Basketball.
What Chariots of Fire? Chariots of Fire did. Like you voted S tier, Austin, didn't you?
I did, but I think I was alone on that one. Everybody else kind of hates it. I mean, Freaking Caddyshack deserves to be in there, but I don't. Y'all are smoking, but you know,
except for me.
it deserves to be on the list.
Me.
I think y'all
Remember,
are
I voted for
Caddyshack.
S. Austin, remember, I voted Caddyshack for an S tier.
We could put
Oh,
it in
that's right.
honorable mention.
Caddyshack
There's a
had
couple
two S's and two
Two
B's.
S's,
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I think it deserves to be
Yeah.
in the honorable mentions. Yeah, like because actually, okay. To be fair, the 3 we have in honorable mentions right now all had S votes. The other 2 did not. So I think that's fair.
Yeah, so I think those 3 should be the
Yeah.
3 honorable mentions, and we just got to decide
All right.
how we want to rank the top 10, because we can have a little debate.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, like, it doesn't really matter like about how we originally voted. We can kind of like decide now.
Mhm.
I kind of feel like as we like how kind of the like top 10 I feel like should go. So, like for me, I think Happy Gilmore is deservedly number 1 for me. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I'm
Great
cool with Happy
comedy,
Gilmore
like,
being
it's
number
just-
1. Yeah, it's great all around.
Yeah, but like for me, I wouldn't really rank Foxcatcher that high, honestly. Like, I wasn't really big on it, but like I don't know about the rest of you. Like, I would rank it kind of low on the top 10. Like, I didn't.
Foxcatcher's the one I would least
just
watch
weird.
out of all these movies, to be honest.
Yeah.
But it's really good. It's just
Same here.
it's one of the ones I would least watch.
I mean, I don't know if that should necessarily make it lower, though. I mean, it's just saying. Like,
I don't think it makes it lower. I just mean like
Yeah. Well,
I would put it at
I
like
would-
maybe 5 or 6, maybe 6.
Yeah, I
for me,
wouldn't
it
put
does
it
make
too
it
low,
lower. Like,
Not too low.
but not like at the end. Not
Put it
at the
5.
end. Is all I'm saying.
Dude, that we could
Yeah.
put it right in the middle of it. But like, I think Airborne, like Airborne's great. Like, I would put like Airborne even number 2. That's just me, but
Come on.
Nah. Even I was high
Airborne,
on
yeah.
Airborne. Even I wouldn't do that.
But what else would we put
I would
there?
put-
Though? Like, I wouldn't put like
I would put Dodgeball higher than Greatest Game, to be honest. But
yeah, I would too. Yeah, like I'm totally with
It had
that.
more love for more
Oh yes,
people.
I forgot. I forgot though. Is the greatest game ever played? Actually had a great Game of Thrones actor in there too.
Okay.
His opponent was Stannis Baratheon.
Okay.
I don't know what that means. I don't watch Game of Thrones.
No, me neither. I never watch it. But
I've seen 3 seasons.
I was pretty high on the Battle of the Sexes. Like, I would put that high too. So like Dodgeball, I would put it above Foxcatcher.
I'm not higher.
Airborne, but the
No,
Battle of the Sexes,
God,
like,
no.
Like, should
No,
move up,
no,
I
no,
feel
no,
like.
no.
Yes.
I think
No.
Sexes is
Freaking
rightfully
great.
listed.
And an
Sex is
incredible
right where it
ending to
belongs.
But no way. Like, it had an incredible ending. Like, it's better than Seabiscuit, I feel like, and better than Foxcatcher. For me, like, I would fight for that.
I wouldn't put it above Foxcatcher, maybe Biscuit.
I wouldn't either. Nope.
I don't even think Foxcatcher belonged in the S tier. Like, I just don't like that movie that much. Like, I don't know. That's just me.
But you're outvoted on that one, Jordan. I'm sorry.
We're not talking about Foxcatcher.
Well, I gotta voice my opinion on it though, because like it.
Oh, I know. But yeah, it's. I think Battle of the Sexes is fine right where it's at. To be honest, like yeah,
Yeah, I agree.
it's fine.
I mean, what else are we gonna move then? Like, I don't.
Nothing. I think it's fine the way it is. Yeah.
How about Kingpin and Hours?
I could do that. I mean, like I'm 50-50 there for 127 hours in Kingpin. I mean,
Yeah,
I
we
could
can
do
leave
either
it.
way.
There we have
Yeah,
a comedy in a series.
But
Yeah.
I think Dodgeball is better than Seabiscuit. It's better than Greatest Game Ever Played. Like, I put it above both of those.
Actually, I would maybe put Dodgeball over Seymour though. There's actually more fun here.
Whatever. Which one? What did you say?
Or what?
Oh, it's Seaborn. I mean,
I mean, Seabiscuit.
Airborne. I think you
Oh,
make. I think you combine
Airborne.
Seabiscuit
Okay,
and
I'm like-
Airborne into
yeah, okay.
Seaborn. I was like, what are you
Yeah,
talking
I
about?
was like, yeah.
You combine
I'm
two
sorry,
movies into one.
I try to stay awake.
Seaborn.
My
No,
eyes
it's
are
all right.
crazy.
You're
No, you're
good.
good.
If you got to bow out, you're cool, man. Like if you got to bow out, you're
Yeah.
exhausted.
Yeah, it's
We're not gonna be much longer. Yeah, it is too.
We're almost done though. Yeah. But does anyone agree we should move Dodgeball up? We got two
I'll
votes.
second that.
Above
I'll put it above
I would-
Seabiscuit.
Yeah,
I'd
put
move it above
above
Seabiscuit. Yeah.
What about above the Greatest Game Ever Played? Would you put it above that?
No.
There's a lot of love for that. I'd leave it. I think we
Yeah.
got it.
All right.
I think that's good.
Well, yeah. I'll begrudgingly agree with that. I'm not like totally satisfied, but I'll be all right because it's a consensus vote. So
Yeah,
It's a
the-
consensus
we'll
vote,
leave it at
Jordan.
that. Well,
But
I
the
think Foxcatcher
entertainment-
needs to get the heck out of top 10, and Lot of the Sexes needs to go way higher.
The
but that's just me.
Nico would love this.
but
But
the
we'll-
first game we played
We'll
though
leave it as is.
is a Disney movie, but it doesn't feel like it. It does not feel like a Disney movie at all.
Yeah, it does. It's
Which
got
one?
Even Stevens.
Yeah, though, but I mean the
I
tone.
know, so.
Yeah.
It's got a it's got a bit of a slower pace than the normal Disney fare, but that's what I like.
Yeah,
about
so
it.
is McFarlane USA. It's like 2 hours and 20 minutes.
And it's great. It's freaking inspirational and not in a cheesy way. Come on.
Yes,
it's
it
a
is.
great movie.
It's corny as hell.
All right.
There's a lot to learn about the Latino culture if you watch. I'll just
Yeah,
say that.
but now like
Yeah, I know nothing about Latino culture until I watched McFarlane USA. Yes.
change
Well, no.
up, though.
I'm just saying that it broaden your horizons is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyways, so we have our official top 10 with our 3 honorable mentions. So Austin is the co-host. Do you want to
All
break it down
right.
for us?
All right. Well, for our alternative sports movies, our top 10, we've got Adam Sandler and Happy Gilmore at number 1. We've got Danny Boyle's 127 Hours at number 2. We've got the Farrelly Brothers with Kingpin at number 3. We've got the 90s classic Airborne number 4. We've got The True Story of Foxcatcher at number 5. We've got The Greatest Game Ever Played. Bill Paxton directing that one at number 6. Number 7, we've got Dodgeball, A True Underdog Story. Number 8, we've got Seabiscuit. Number 9, we've got the tennis classic Battle of the Sexes. Number 10, we've got Balls of Fury. And our 3 honorable mentions rounding it out tonight is the cheerleading movie Bring It On. We've got Caddyshack and Disney's McFarlane USA.
All right, yeah. That'll
Good
do it,
job,
guys.
everybody.
Thanks.
Nicely done.
Yeah, guys.
All
Actually,
right.
under 2.5 hours. So yeah, so
Hey, we cut it under.
we'll call it good there, and we'll just go around the horn here. You can let us know where we can find you. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with Jonathan Peck. Since you're getting a little tired there, you can let us know where we can find you, and if you got to
Got to bump
jump
off and
that's
get out of
fine.
here. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And I got a bed. All right.
Yeah.
Find me on Twitter, Instagram, JPEG1098. You can also find me on Facebook, Jonathan Peck. And also, I'm in charge of the Sports Brawl League. With me and Papa West are bringing it back. We're starting to get feeling a little bit more peaceful before we're officially going to bring it back. We're brand new, using a clean slate. And also, I've got some questions from TMG Trivia. And pretty much right around, I'm flew around the spear. So that's it. I was gonna plug
I'm
in.
sure Jordan would love to do some basketball trivia on Sports Brawl, or some
Oh, yeah,
debating
for
on
sure.
basketball. So it's his favorite sport.
I remember to hit you up for that.
Well,
Yeah.
me too. Like I love to do a football one because that's my sport.
That's the
Oh, yeah.
reason. If you sign up to Sports Brawl, you can pick any category you want to debate.
I
on.
am.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
all right.
We'll be reaching out to you then for it though. Yeah. Thanks for
Yeah.
joining us. We appreciate it. But
All right. Thank you, sir.
we'll throw it over to Ross. Do you have anything?
Yeah, I have 2
you
things.
want to promote?
Like you
Where
guys
can
can find me on
find you?
you can find me on Facebook and then also on like Instagram and then you can find me on my YouTube channel Ross Show. And then also too, I was just announced as the co-host of me and my buddy Michael Wolfman Winham, which the channel is called Mega Movie Z. I'm actually a co-host on his channel. I mean, on the show called Hall of Heroes. So yeah, you can check that out.
Nice. Very cool. And then Jordan, where can we find you?
We got help run Real Pro Wrestling, RPW Wrestling here in Florida. August 21st, our big 6-year anniversary event. I'm still trying to get Austin to come down so we can put him through a flaming table. We'll discuss that later.
Maybe next show. I can't get off work in the next week or 2 for that, but maybe next show. Maybe I'll come down.
All right. I won't buy the flammable table yet. All right. We'll wait.
That's right.
We'll do it in September. We got Kazarni coming. Kazarni and Austin in September.
My best friend Dagan Briggs has done matches with Kazarni back years ago. So yeah, he's very familiar with that guy. Sin Bodhi. Yes.
Bring Dagan. I'll take him.
Yeah.
Pierce Wrestling Channel, we'll do some wrestling trivia. Gonna get Austin involved in that here pretty soon. Pierce Co, we do movie trivia. Austin just debuted in that. A little fun melee we had over there, as well as podcast, show about shows, live wrestling on all those channels as well, except for the movie one. And yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, for sure. And also, whenever the next big wrestling event is, like, you have to let me know because you guys are the wrestling guys. But whenever that is, though, we want to put together a tournament fights episode of the top 64 greatest wrestlers of all time and kind of hash it out there. So I think that could be a lot of fun to do. So
if we get like you and maybe
I know
Jacob Barber or whoever. Yeah, get some wrestling people.
Or maybe try to get like a Nico or JB3 on there. Like I know some fans around the community are huge wrestling fans. So
we won't have a problem. We won't have a problem finding people for that show. I'm pretty sure we're not going to struggle.
Those are good options.
That'll be
Here's
fun.
my recommendation. Here's my recommendation.
The answer is Shawn Michaels.
all right.
What?
There you go.
Unless he goes up against Ric Flair in the first round, which could happen.
Yeah, right.
Well, then Flair's not making it around two, baby.
What?
We'll see what happens, but
all right.
yeah. But Austin, do you have anything you want to promote? Or?
Yeah, I frequently co-host pretty much a lot of the shows that are on here on the Movie Hero Network. So tier ranker fights like this one, tournament fights. Jordan and I just recorded an episode of Live from Movie Hero that's up about classic SNL. We talked about Conan O'Brien and Willie Nelson episodes. So that's a lot of fun if you like old school SNL. And we've got Podcast League now, and go check that out. It's our podcast we do. And Jordan will probably tell you about the shows we got next week, but we can't call them this, but it's going to be Shit Show on Movie Hero next week with two of the tournament fights we got lined up. So he'll tell you all about that.
You can swear as much as you want
on the show, but not in the titles.
I'm just saying, like, don't put it in the title because, like, for some reason YouTube has a weird thing about the algorithm if you have it in the title, but
we can unofficially call it that when we actually get on the show. But yeah, we'll have to come up with more PC names for the titles. But I'll tell you about that.
but yeah, we're actually gonna have a shit show week going on next week because we're gonna be doing next Tuesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. We're gonna be doing our top 16 most overrated movies of all time. Because why it's top 16 is because we're starting a spinoff series called Movie Fight Battles, where we take 4 people. Everyone submits 16, so we equal 64, and then we just put it through the gauntlet. And we just see which one comes out on top. So it's kind of like a best of our overrated movies. They're just movies that we
we're
can't
gonna subtitle it like
them.
We'll probably subtitle it like I don't get it, which is movies we don't get why people like, essentially.
Yeah.
So like I don't get it. Like it's something like that. So it's a 16 of I don't get it, but there's 4 different people. So one person may say I don't get this movie, but the other people on the panel love it. So they'll put it through. But it's gonna be interesting to see what movies come up.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a lot of fun.
My number one is gonna piss a lot of people off.
Yeah.
I'm
sure there'll be some
Fury Road.
There'll be a lot of pissed off people on that. So
come on, man.
I know.
Been hanging on my wall, but
anyways.
But yeah, we have another episode coming up Friday. That's going to be the worst movies of all time that are on the IMDb bottom 100 list, and we're going to be doing the best of the worst. But this one's going to be a little different, where it's going to be movies that are generally considered to be the worst of all time. They're like everyone thinks it is the worst, and then we're going to hash it out with those ones too. So we got one that's more of like an overrated one, and then one that's like a definitive worst of the worst. So that should be a fun
Batman
time.
and Robin for the win, baby.
Yeah.
And Bucky Larson, Born to Be Star is good.
Yeah, right.
Or like anything to do with cats, like with the movie Cats or Catwoman or anything like that. Or like Cat in the Hat. On there. Like all of that stuff. Yeah. But
it should be a lot of fun. Tune in.
Like I'm actually surprisingly really excited for these episodes. So it's because like I had some like pretty strong thoughts on like some of these movies as to why I generally can't stand some of these. So like we're gonna go on some rants a little bit. So it should be a good time. But anyways, yeah. And then you can find us on all the social media. We're on Twitter and Instagram at Movie Hero 2121, and then you can find us over in the Schmodown Friends and Family group, where we're gonna have the poll of our top 10 plus 3 honorable mentions up tomorrow. And then also too, I want to give a little shout out. We're looking for one more admin for the Schmodown Friends and Family group, someone who can focus on all of the Schmodown related stuff, because I'm so busy. We have a group that's related to the actual Schmodown, but I don't ever have any time to really post very much Schmodown stuff in there. So if anybody's interested in like being our like Schmodown correspondent or Schmodown consigliere, like we're definitely looking for another person who can kind of hype that up within the group. So yeah, but that's pretty much where you can find us. So, but this has been a super fun time, guys. Thanks again for coming on the episode. So we'll see what everyone thinks in the poll tomorrow. But yeah, so but for Ross, for Jonathan, for Jordan, for Austin Pez, I've been Jordan Movie Hero Anderson, and we will see you next time.